says, "Why are you up?"
Broadcasting more than 2,000 games live and archived in 15 sports in over 10 counties in western Pennsylvania, as well as being the exclusive home for all the WPIAL playoffs and championships for nearly 2 decades. Anytime, anywhere, always there. We are the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
Welcome to WPIAL Football 2017 and the video stream Game of the Week here on the TribLive High School Sports Network. This evening, it's a rematch of the last 2 Class 1A championship games as the Clairton Bears host the Jeannette Jayhawks. High school football at TribHSSN.TribLive.com is sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by AstroTurf, by Dollar Bank, by Chick-fil-A Robinson, by WQED and by Trib Total Media. Now let's head out to Neal Brown Stadium and join Sean Saputo, Lou Rood, and Jess Levo for all the action.
You couldn't ask for a more beautiful Friday night to round out the regular season in the WPIAL, and it's a conference championship matchup in the Eastern Conference in Class 1A between the Clairton Bears and the Jeannette Jayhawks. I'm Sean Saputo. I'm joined alongside by Lou Rood, Jess Levo, doing video for us this evening, and I'm going to bring in my broadcast partner right away, Lou Rood. These two teams have played each other 4 times the past 2 seasons, 2 of those in the WPIAL championship games, and it's been all Clairton every time.
Yes, it has, and Jeannette just upped the stakes. They had a big run-through sign painted out there. It says, "Ain't this what you've been waiting for?" with a big shot of a Jayhawk on there, just telling Clairton, hey, we're in town, we're here, and it's our turn. And Jeannette, for them, it has been very frustrating these last 4 times that they have met Clairton. Last year, it was a tight game in the championship game right up until about the last 8 or 9 minutes of the game. Clairton was able to pull away and get the victory. Jeannette tried to come back, got close, but unable to do it. Very, very much a frustrating night for the Jeannette Jayhawks at Joe Walton Stadium at Robert Morris University. So they come in tonight undefeated, loaded for bear, and the teams are whooping it up towards each other already, and the officials are having to come over and separate them. And I have a feeling we're in for a rather chippy game tonight between these two teams.
The rivalry has grown over the last 3 seasons. To be exact, 3 years ago these two teams met, and it was Clairton winning again. 5 of the last 6 losses for the Jeannette Jayhawks have come to these Clairton Bears. But Lou, this is unfamiliar territory this season for the Clairton Bears. 2 regular season losses, back-to-back losses to Amani Christian, who was shorthanded 5 starters, and then Aliquippa the following week, who Clairton decimated last year. And now the Bears, for the first time since '05, 2 losses in the regular season.
That, and if they don't win tonight, it would be 3 losses in the regular season. And who knows when the last time that happened was. 05. Yep. So, you know, it's a situation where Clairton is not used to that. Jeannette, on the other hand, finally has the upper hand here. They're used to playing up to Clairton and looking at them up above in the standings. Tonight, Jeannette is in first place. However, Imana Christian has 1 loss in the conference play so far. Clairton has 1 loss. So, should Clairton knock off Jeannette tonight, it sets up the possibility for a 3-way tie. In fact, if you want me to run through this, I can. They've all clinched for the playoffs, Jeannette, Imana Christian, and Clairton. They're already in the playoffs. If Jeannette wins or loses by 9 or fewer points tonight, they're first. If both Clairton and Imana Christian, who host Leechburg on Saturday, win by 10 or more points, all 3 teams would be tied in Gardner points and tiebreaker points, and a coin flip would decide first place. So that's the situation for Jeannette. They want to win, and they want to win by 9 or fewer points. So at least by 9, and they're in as the conference champion. In fact, if they win tonight, they will be the conference champion because they've already beaten Imani Christian in a rather controversial game earlier this season. That was the reason Imani was short 5 players. They got ejected in the game against Jeannette, and so they win it tonight outright. Clairton has to win and then hope the tiebreaker goes their way in order for them to continue their conference championship run that they've had here.
Flip the 3-sided coin, right?
Yeah, that's it. And how 2 flip, and then the 3rd one joins in. So would you want to be the 2 that start or the 3rd one that comes in? Because you could be the 3rd one coming in and still lose out. So and then do they flip between the other 2 to see who's going to be the 2nd place team and who's going to be the 3rd place team? So it's a mess.
Clairton is going to be shorthanded to a couple stars, though. Kiafi Fuqua, star running back for the Bears, is still out to this date, as well as Aaron Thompson, a stellar sophomore wide receiver and defensive player. out as well, as Jeannette is sporting the white uniforms with the white pants for the road, the red helmets with the Jayhawk on the logo on the sides, representing nearly the Kansas Jayhawk logo. And on the flip side, Clairton sporting some new unis.
Don't say Kansas.
No,
and
Kansas.
Not in football, at least. You don't want to represent them. Basketball, maybe you could. But if anything, you should say Kansas is representing the Jeannette Jayhawk on their helmet in football.
That is true. And then on the flip side, Clairton sporting some new uniforms, almost an ode to the Smoky Mountain grays that the University of Tennessee used.
And God bless you, and good luck trying to see those orange numbers on the gray, because I cannot see them right now.
And
Glad I'm not doing play-by-play tonight, buddy.
Very new uniforms for the Clairton Bears.
They look great.
Oh, yes.
Somebody should have told them put a white outline around the numbers to help out the broadcasters.
As Clairton gets set to kick it away, Ogletree will be doing the kicking. Clairton's will be kicking right to left, so Jeannette will be receiving on the far side of the field. Back to return for Jeannette. Robert Kennedy, Melick Gordon, and Trey Cunningham.
And Kennedy, a dynamic do-it-all player for the Jayhawks this year. Not just this year, he was last year as well, but this year really outstanding season.
Whistle blows, Ogletree lines it up, kicks it, and it's going to be caught at the 25-yard line far side, brought up the far sideline, breaking a tackle at the 40 to the 45, getting to midfield and fighting out of bounds is Elijah O'Neal. Solid field position for the Jeannette Jayhawks. Ball spotted right at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Jayhawks.
And say what you will, the Jeannette Jayhawks travel very well. The visitor sideline is on the side with the press box here at Neal Brown Stadium, and it is almost filled to capacity with Jeannette fans, and you can hear the Jeannette band cranking it up here off to our right.
Ball is actually going to be spotted at the 49-yard line, so Jeannette just missing midfield in its own territory. Robert Kennedy, the quarterback. We'll get to the rest of the starting offense when we have a moment. 1st and 10 for the Jayhawks. Motioning to the near side of the field is Burgeon. Kennedy back to pass, lost one up. It's intercepted on the first play. It's Trayshawn Howard from his own 34-yard line. The Bears with the interception, and they take over on the first play of the game. The first interception of the year for Robert Kennedy, who came in with 1,070 yards, 21 touchdowns, and was unblemished in the passing department.
And great pressure exerted that time. Clairton blitzed a linebacker. I couldn't tell the number. I honestly could not read it. But that young man did a fantastic job. He leveled Kennedy right as he let loose with the ball, and that affected the pass.
So Clairton takes over, ball on its own 36-yard line. Brendan Parsons, the quarterback, joined with Trayshawn Howard, sidecar to the left, trips to the near side. Taken on a wildcat is actually Trayshawn Howard. Trayshawn Howard gets to the 42-yard line for a pickup of 5 on the play.
Is it me, or does it seem like Trayshawn Howard has been here forever for Clairton? I think he's played since his freshman year.
It seems like it. And this is, as they announced them during senior day, this is only his 3rd year on the team.
Yeah.
Trayshawn Howard is still in at quarterback. Lined up to his side. Single running back, 3 receivers stacked on the near side. Howard faking the pitch and the wildcat on the option look. Gets to the line of scrimmage, charges ahead for 2 yards, is finally wrapped up. And a 3rd down and a manageable 3 for the Bears. Ball on the 44-yard line, Clairton in its own territory. 10:50 on the clock remaining in the first quarter, no score.
Nice play that time by Jordan Sullivan. Defensive lineman for Jeannette made the initial contact and then held on and waited for help to get there.
Parsons now checks in at quarterback. Howard will line up in the backfield. 3 receivers to the near side, Pruitt in the slot. Joined alongside with Delvin Clifford, Jordan Hines. Parsons in the shotgun. Hard count. Defensive line jumps 5 yards on the offsides and a free 1st down for the Bears. Ball will be spotted at the 49-yard line, 1st in Clairton territory, 1st and 10 for the Bears.
Yeah, good job by Clairton with the hard count, getting Jeannette to jump offside. Easy first down for the Bears.
So Parsons goes into the shotgun. 3 receivers again to the near side left. Motioning to the far side is Keyshawn Wright. Snap and the handoff to Howard. Breaks the tackle at midfield to the 45. Cuts ahead. Picks up 9 yards on the play. 2nd and 1 for the Bears. Now in Jeannette territory at the 42-yard line.
Nice run by Trayshawn Howard. He showed his strength. Anthony Johnson came in from his defensive end position, had him for about no gain, and Trayshawn Howard just ripped right through the tackle and picked up 8 extra yards.
Trayshawn Howard, 3 carries already, picking up 15 yards, 2 receivers to each side. Motioning to the near side is Keyshawn Wright. Parsons on the option keeper took it out of the basket of Howard and falls down, a loss of 2 on the play.
I think Howard wanted to hold on to it and held on to it a little bit too long and caused Parsons to lose his balance when he finally got the ball back. Falls down for no gain. Actually loses 2.
So 3rd down and 3 for the Bears. Ball on the Jeannette 44-yard line. Up back in the backfield. Howard is the sidecar to the left. 2 receivers to the far side. Handoff goes to Howard. Cuts across, follows his right guard, and picks up the 1st down.
Nice patient run by Howard. Waited for his blocks to develop, and then when he saw he had a little bit of a seam, just lowered his shoulder and moved the pile forward enough to get the 1st down for Clairton. So a nice first drive for the Clairton Bears following the turnover on Kennedy's interception. And Clairton looking impressive so far in the early going.
Lining up to the near side receivers, Devlin Clifford. Pruitt is lined up in the slot on the near side. 2 receivers to the far side, which Howard in the backfield, Parsons in the shotgun. Howard moves to the sidecar right. 1st and 10 Bears on the Jeannette 40. Motioning a receiver. Pulled away by Parsons. He loses the football. It's ripped out and Jeannette forces a turnover. Parsons ripped it out again on the option keeper. Loses the football. Recovered by Jeannette. And
Trey Cunningham on the recovery. And that, again, was a miscommunication because Jeannette came with an all-out blitz, and Parsons saw that Howard was just going to get clobbered, so he tried to pull the ball out. And again, I think the 2 of them fought over the ball, caused it to just pop loose, and Cunningham, right on the spot, pounced on it.
Ball at the Jeannette 46-yard line. The Jayhawks take over in its own territory. 8:24 remaining in the 1st quarter, no score. Kennedy in the shotgun, 2 by 2. The receivers line up. Fakes the handoff. Kennedy keeps it himself, trips up, dives ahead, but loses a yard on the play to the 45, and some scuffling in the middle of the field. Late pushes on the blocks. Loss of 1 for Kennedy.
Deontay Reddick made the tackle for Clairton as he knifed in and was able to get Kennedy.
Kennedy lines up in the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Isaiah Winters, the slot receiver on the near side of the field. Kennedy takes the snap, hands it off, cutting up the middle and being wrapped up after gaining 2 yards on the play was Amani Sanders. Fantastic tackle by Anthony Pruitt. It will be 3rd down and 9 for Jeannette. Ball on the Clairton on its own 47-yard line.
Yeah, he got him and just almost like you'd hog tie a steer, rope him down. He just ripped him backwards in a hurry.
3rd and 9 for Jeannette. Ball on its own 47-yard line. Kennedy in the backfield, talking to his receivers on the far side. 2 are bunched and 2 on the near side. Sidecar is Sanders. To Kennedy's right, rolls out to his right to Kennedy, throws downfield, passes nearly intercepted, incomplete. Fantastic coverage in the secondary for Clairton, ripping the ball free.
Andrus Wiggins.
Andrus Wiggins on the play. And 4th and 9 for Jeannette. And Jeannette will bring out the punt unit.
And Kennedy fortunate that that one wasn't intercepted as Wiggins jumped the route. It was an out route. And he was step for step with the receiver. And as soon as the ball was thrown, he tried to jump in front and take the ball away. The 2 of them wrestled for it, came up incomplete.
So Jeannette will have to give the ball back to the Bears. Trey Cunningham back to punt. Trayshawn Howard back to return for Clairton, standing at his own 25-yard line. The snap high, but Cunningham jumps up to catch it, gets the boot off. It's going to bounce at the Clairton 20-yard line and go out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Great punt by Trey Cunningham. Pins Clairton deep in its own territory with 6:56 left in the first quarter. No score.
And you mentioned the fact that there's little skirmishes breaking out. The chirping down on the field is intense from both teams. There's a lot going on, not always at the point of attack, not always where the play is going on. And these teams definitely do not like each other. I think you could say that safely.
Not at all. As Clairton now, after the turnover, comes back on the field. Parsons in the shotgun with Howard to his left. Hands it off to Howard this time, goes off right tackle, breaks across the 20, dives forward to the 24-yard line, is wrestled down, and the ball came free after he hit the ground. So a pickup of 6 on the play for Trayshawn Howard brings up 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, just a simple inside zone there, and he bounced it to the outside. Showed good vision, was able to find a seam and get forward for 5 yards. And so far, Clairton's offense has been doing the job. Jeannette unable to really move the ball to this point in the game.
2nd and 5 for the Bears. Ball on the 23-yard line. Parsons setting up and up back in the backfield with Howard as well. Parsons takes the snap, loses it to Howard. He picks it up off the turf, but wrestled down, and now we have pushing and shoving down the field at the 40-yard line. Anthony Pruitt is going to pick up a personal foul as downfield got into a tussle with, trying to find who that was
number 80
defensively for Jeannette.
That was Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson. So Johnson and Pruitt get into it. Johnson may have thrown a shove here or there, but
see if this is offsetting or if it is indeed going straight to Clairton. The flag wasn't thrown till after Johnson was thrown onto the ground, and it looks like they are going to move Clairton back.
So Johnson coming up speaking to the official. Pruitt, who was actually, if you saw in the pregame when we came onto the air, when there was a little scuffle going on with the officials, it was Pruitt. Well, Pruitt was actually pushing him back. He was like, all right, come on, guys. And Pruitt picks up the 15-yard penalty.
Well, I've covered Clairton a lot over the years. And the general thing is, if you woof at them, they're not only going to woof back, they're going to bite.
Yeah.
So, and that's what happened tonight. Both teams came out woofing, and Clairton starting to bite.
Ball now on the 11-yard line. Parsons drops back the pass, looking for a throw on the far side of the field. Incomplete. Streaking down the far side of the field for the Clairton Bears was Trayshawn Howard. And Clairton will have to bring on the punt unit. It's 4th and 20. Clairton on its own 11-yard line. 5:48 left in the first quarter. No score.
Yeah, the Bears do not like to be challenged. They react like the old alpha dog, so to speak. You challenge the alpha dog, you better be ready for a fight, and that's the way the Bears have been. You know, and it's been constant for many, many years now. And that's why they've had the success they've had. They don't back down from anybody.
And the punt is a wobbly one that bounces at the 35, taken by Jeannette at the Clairton 44, and tackled down right away. Pruitt making the tackle on the return for Jeannette was Malik Gordon, who gets no gain on the play. But Jeannette in prime field position. Ball on the Clairton 44. We'll mark him at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Jayhawks.
It's important for Jeannette now to try and get their offense on track. They have not been able to move the football. It's been mostly the Clairton offense on the field here in the first quarter.
Jeannette has run 4 plays, has picked up 1 yard of offense. Kennedy in the shotgun, 2 receivers split to each side. Sanders in the backfield, now motioning a receiver, and a flag on the play. Isaiah Winters was the receiver motioning to the far side of the field. Referees stop, and
looks like illegal procedure against Jeannette, and that's not the way you want to start it. You've got the ball in Clairton territory at the 45. Now you're back at midfield and have a 1st and 15.
First penalty of the night for the Jayhawks, who now set up at the 50-yard line, 1st and 15. Still split with two receivers. Winters motions to the far side left. Back to pass is Kennedy. Drops back, looking near side of the field. Pass is broken up, incomplete. On the coverage for the Bears was Jordan Hines. Pass intended for Marcus Barnes, incomplete.
Barnes running a post route, had good position. Kennedy put the ball in perfect spot, but the Clairton defender, was it Hines, did you say?
Correct, Jordan Hines.
Hines did a great job of getting his hand in there, knocking the ball away without interfering. And 2nd down and 15 now.
Barnes again lined up to the near sideline. Slot receiver to the near side. Now a motion man taking the handoff on the jet sweep, breaking a tackle at the 45, and finally wrapped up for a loss of 2 yards on the play is Zach Burgeon.
That was Hines. Hines again coming in from his corner spot, coming up quickly, making the play. Had help from Andrus Wiggins as well.
A loss of 2 on the play makes it 3rd and 17 for the Jayhawks now. Ball back in its own territory at the 48-yard line.
And Jeannette, a high-powered offense, has been going backwards. They got negative yardage right now,
Negative
Sean.
1 yard on the night for Jeannette. 5 minutes remains in the first quarter, no score. Stacked to the near side is Barnes, along with Winters. Winters motions to the far side, and now a timeout called on the field by the Clairton Bears. So the first timeout of the night stops the clock with 4:49 left in the first quarter and no score. We're going to take it to a short break. You're listening to 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Reminder coming up at the half, it's the TribLive High School Sports Halftime Show. This week, Don Rebel welcomes Chris Harlan of TribLive.com as they update the WPIAL football postseason picture with some more playoff factoids.
3rd down and 17, and this one with playoff implications, mostly seeding implications in this game.
Seeding more so than anything.
As both teams have clinched a playoff spot out of the 1A Eastern Conference. And now Jeannette with a 3rd and 17 from its own 48-yard line. Kennedy lines up with trips to the far side left, drops back to pass, looking to the left, scrambles, breaks the pressure, but he is wrapped up and finally keeps on his feet, but is wrestled down. Eventually, Jeannette looking for a penalty. He was wrapped up by a host of Clairton Bears. In on the sack, Anthony Pruitt. And a huge loss for
Trayshawn
Jeannette.
Howard in there as well. I mean, they were all over Kennedy, and their offense has been advancing to the rear tonight. They've been going backwards the entire night.
A loss of 9 on the play.
This thing started at the 45-yard line of Clairton. It's back to the 40-yard or 39-yard line of Jeannette.
4th and 25.
Minus 16 on this drive.
4 minutes left. The punt, beautiful punt by Cunningham, sends Howard all the way back. And it rolls. He picks it up at his own 2, breaks 2 tackles, and he's wrestled down at the 3-yard line. Trayshawn Howard decided to try to make something happen, but nothing did happen. A beautiful punt by Cunningham pins Clairton deep in its own territory. Ball is actually going to be spotted at the 4-yard line, so Howard was able to manage a yard on the play. But Jeannette with a fantastic job and Cunningham with a beautiful punt.
Yeah, he leveled that beautifully down the field. Almost a line drive, and Howard couldn't run back to get under it. And it curved and bounced on an angle and stayed right outside the end zone.
58-yard punt for Cunningham. Clairton at its own 4-yard line, 1st and 10, trips to the near side right. Motioning a receiver to the far side of the field. Parsons in the shotgun, takes the snap. Actually, it's Howard who is in the Wildcat, now goes to the far side of the field. Across the 5, dives towards the 10-yard line. Will be spotted at the 9-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. Brings up a second and manageable 5 for the Bears.
And again, the one thing Clairton's been able to do is get positive yardage, especially on first down with their offense, and get themselves in positions where, you know, second and medium or second and short or third and short.
Lined up to the near sideline is Devlin Clifford. Parsons is in the shotgun, has 2 backs in the backfield. Hands it off to Trayshawn Howard, looking to go off right tackle, cuts across the middle, follows his center, and cuts across to the 16-yard line for a pickup of 7 on the play. And a first down for the Clairton Bears.
And important for Clairton, they got themselves out of the shadow of their own goal line and get a first down to boot. So not only do they improve their field position, but they get another set of downs.
My correction on that, it was Isaiah Berry on the carry who picked up 7 yards for the Bears. And a 1st and 10, ball on Clairton's own 16-yard line, 2:50 left in the first quarter, no score. Trips to the near sideline, single receiver to the far side. Parsons throws a quick screen pass, and it's bottled up right away at the 15-yard line, so a loss on the play of 1 for the Bears.
Trey Cunningham made that play. He read it immediately and flew up there to make the tackle for the loss. And there is a flag down as well. No, that's the football. I'm sorry. My eyes are going bad, guys.
A loss of...
I need to be looking at Jess's video feed here so I can see what's going on.
Ball was spotted at the 14. It was at the 16, a loss of 2 on the play. So 2nd down and 12 for the Bears. Trips to the far side now. Parsons back to pass. Looking near side, finds Trayshawn Howard. He makes the catch. A circus catch at the 50, 40, 30. Howard has no one to beat. 5, touchdown. Clairton Bears, no flags on the play. Trayshawn Howard, 87 yards, and the Bears take the 6-0 lead.
Wow. Trayshawn Howard burst through the coverage, was wide open, then did a juggling, bounced the ball around off of 2 or 3 hands before finally hauling it in, and then kicked the Jets in, and he was gone. And Clairton explodes for a touchdown. And it looks like you don't come into the Bears' house and rile them up.
6-0, Clairton leading with 1:48 left in the first quarter. Ogletree comes in for the extra point. To hold the extra point is Parsons. Snap good, hold good, kick is up by Ogletree, and the kick is no good. So with 1:48 left in the first quarter, it's Trayshawn Howard from Brendan Parsons for 87 yards to make it 6-0 Clairton, leading Jeannette. You're listening to 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the TribLive High School Sports Network.
For several years, Progress has been recognizing the efforts of high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. Now that Progress and AstroTurf have united under the AstroTurf name, the team at the new TribLive High School Sports Network is pleased to say that AstroTurf has joined our high school sports sponsorship family. AstroTurf is one of the most iconic brands in sports, and we are thrilled to have them on board. Lou Rood, Sean Saputo, Jess Levo on the camera for the Trib HSSN live stream game of the week, and Clairton jumping on top. Here's my partner, Sean.
As Ogletree gets ready to kick off from his own 40-yard line right to left. Kick is in the air, taken on the far side of the field by Elijah O'Neal. Cuts towards the hash marks and is finally wrestled down shy of the 30-yard line. Ball looks like it came free, but the official waving that O'Neal was down on the play, will be spotted at the 29-yard line for Jeannette in its own territory. 1st and 10 to start the drive after the defense allowed an 87-yard touchdown pass. Trayshawn Howard on the reception from Brendan Parsons, and what was a stalemate offensively between the two teams. Clairton, one big play later, has taken the 6-0 edge.
Stalemate in the sense that neither team had scored, but the advantage definitely to Clairton. Jeannette is in negative yardage right now, Sean. You know, offensively, they've been going backwards.
Kennedy lines up with 2 receivers to each side, and now a fake on the jet sweep, a handoff up the middle, and stacked right at the line of scrimmage is Amani Sanders, tackled by a host of Clairton Bears who are waving hands up at the bench.
Well, look at the crowd on the far side. They're going nuts over there. And this game is being determined right now up front. The Clairton defensive front, their front 7 is just controlling.
Minute 10 left and counting now as the officials halt things for a second as
trying to fix a helmet.
Travis Irons, his helmet was a little messed up. Minute left now. Empty set for Jeannette. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 receivers to the far side. Kennedy all alone in the backfield. Drops back to pass, steps up, quarterback scramble, gets across the 30-35. Looking to wrestle to the 40, but tackled down on the near sideline at the 38-yard line by Jordan Hines. A pickup of 9 on the play. They're actually going to mark him close to the first down marker, just short, actually. So a pickup of 9. And a 3rd and manageable 1 now for the Jayhawks at its own 38-yard line. 25 seconds left in the first quarter. 6-0 Clairton leads. 2 backs split each side. Kennedy loses it on the snap, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard. In on the play defensively is Deontay Reddick, and Kennedy slow to get up. It's 4th down and 2 now for Jeannette. 6 seconds left in the first quarter, and time is going to wind down. Clairton gets a defensive stop in Jeannette territory, and it's going to be 4th down and 2 for the Jayhawks when we come back. The score, Clairton 6, Jeannette nothing after 1 quarter of play. You are listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recor-Tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
Some of the top athletes in the WPIAL are featured every week on the TribLive Center Stage, which you can view on our YouTube page. Log on to our website this fall at www.TribHSSN.TribLive.com and check out which athletes we are talking to. Plus, our weekly game nights are also now featured here on the TribLive High School Sports Network. I'm Lou Rood, he's Sean Saputo, and on the video is Jess Levo, our trusty camera camera expert. And here's Sean.
So Jeannette 4th down and 2.
Did I butter Jess up enough?
You did, I think so. I think you got yourself a hot dog at halftime.
Oh, we'll see.
As we head to the second quarter, still 6-0 Clairton, 4th and 2 for Jeannette. Back to punt is Cunningham, who blasted a 58-yard boot and blasts another one into Clairton territory. Trayshawn Howard lets it roll, picks it up at his own 3, makes a man miss on the far sideline, follows the far sideline, and eventually runs out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So a pickup of 14 for Howard on the punt return. Dangerous territory yet again for the Bears after the punt by Cunningham, but a great job.
Didn't bother him the last time, no. And Trayshawn Howard really made a nice play. Picked the ball up. It was going to be about the 4-yard line when he got it and was able to get it back out to the 16. So got themselves out of the shadow of their goal line again, and not great field position, but not that bad either. And, you know, the way Clairton's been offensively tonight, they can score from just about anywhere on the field. To be honest, Sean, this reminds me of the Bears of old. It's like Clairton's back here, the way they're playing so far. Now, if they can do it the whole game, that's what remains to be seen.
Clairton lines up with 3 receivers to the near side. And a pre-snap penalty going against the Bears, so chalk off the 5 yards, and Clairton will start at its own 11-yard line, 1st and 15. And time did not run off the clock after the punt return. Howard did scoop it up, so it's still saying we have a full 12 minutes to go in the second quarter.
If I was working with my partner that I usually work with, Paul Patera, he'd be ranting and raving right now. That's his one pet peeve.
The officials did not catch it, though, so full time on the clock in the second quarter. Empty set for Clairton. 3 receivers to the near side. Parsons back to pass, looks to the far side, rolls out to his left, comes across, throws across the body, caught by Pruitt at the 15 in the middle of the field, gets to the far sideline, gets 2 blocks, gets to the near sideline, and now a flag comes down and a horse collar tackle. So these 2 penalties will most likely offset, is finally tackled out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
There's flags everywhere. It's like Flag Day. Block in the back, definitely. There's 2 flags there where the referee is, and then you're right on the horse collar tackle. They'll offset, we'll replay the down.
Keyshawn Wright, I believe, is going to pick up the foul for the block in the back, and then the horse collar tackle at the 23-yard line.
But it negates what was a very nice play there. You know, a nice scramble by the quarterback Parsons. He found his man open over the middle, got him the ball.
On a throw across the body as well. The right-handed Parsons rolling out.
And it was the offsetting penalties, as we suspected.
So 11:47 left in the first half. Score is still Clairton leading 6-0. And the down will be replayed after the penalties offset. So 1st and 15 again for the Bears from its own 11-yard line. Now a bunched set for Clairton. Pistol formation. Howard in the backfield. Up man to the behind the left guard. Handoff goes to Howard. Bobbles it. Cuts across the 15. Breaks a tackle. Gets to the far sideline and is finally wrapped up and tackled down on the play. Defensively for Jeannette on the tackle is Gordon. And a pickup of 4 on the play. Back to the original line of scrimmage for Clairton.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's at least the 3rd time tonight where we've had a bobbled exchange between Parsons and Trayshawn Howard.
Pick up a 5 on the play for Trayshawn Howard. 2nd down and 10 for the Bears. 3 receivers to the near side. 1 receiver to the far sideline. Parsons in the shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Barry this time, who's bottled up, wrapped up, and tackled in the backfield. Johnson right in on the play at the defensive end. Barry gets wrapped up at the 15-yard line. A loss of 1 on the play. 3rd and 11 for the Bears. We have another official marked at the 13-yard line who now moves to the 15, so it is a loss of 1 on the play for Barry.
Yeah, forward progress was to there, and then they threw him backwards, so you got to give him credit for the forward progress.
Clairton making substitutions now. Barry checks back out.
And Johnson been very, very active from his defensive end spot. He's been involved in a lot of plays so far tonight for Jeannette.
Empty set. Parsons will step back in the shotgun. 3 receivers bunched to the near side right. Motions a 4th receiver, Pruitt, to the near side. Drops back to pass, looking to the near side. Parsons throws across his body. Catch is made by Trayshawn Howard after a gain of 2 on the play, but is wrestled down defensively by Malik Gordon. And Clairton will have to punt 4th down and 9.
And lucky that one didn't get picked off because Gordon read that and came flying up in a hurry. Got there about the same time the ball did, but a good stop for Jeannette's defense. And you know, as we start the second quarter now, maybe the Jayhawks are ready to wake up a little bit and play like they've been capable of playing all season long, because I don't think we've seen the real Jeannette Jayhawks yet to this point.
Back to punt for the Clairton Bears. is Wright, who punts one that bounces at the 42-yard line in Clairton territory and gets the extra yard to the 43. So again, solid field position for the Jeannette Jayhawks with a 9:16 left in the first half, trailing by just 6. But Lou, again, you mentioned it, this Jeannette offense has been doing nothing but pedaling backwards.
And a lot of it has to do with their defense of Clairton. They have been extremely aggressive. They've been blitzing. Let's face it, their defense has been playing angry. They have been playing like they're taking offense to just Jeannette even being here. And they're making every play difficult for the Jeannette Jayhawks. And the front seven of Clairton right now are dominating, and that's been the difference in this game to this point.
Jeannette lines up with 3 receivers bunched to the far side in an empty set, 2 to the near side. Kennedy in the shotgun, takes the snap at the 50, steps up, breaks a tackle at the 45, gets to the 40, cuts across, dives through to the 35-yard line, and picks up 9 yards, maybe 10 on the play. He's going to be a yard short, and a gain of 9 for Kennedy. 2nd down and 1 for Jeannette.
Longest play of the night for Jeannette to this point, too. And really, it was just a scramble. And it shows Kennedy's ability there, but he was able to make a couple people miss and get positive yardage.
Kennedy's joined by Sanders in the backfield to his left. 3 receivers to the far sideline. Single receiver to the near side is Trey Cunningham, faking the handoff and going across the 35-30 and tackled down after crossing the 30 at the 28-yard line. After a pickup on the play of 6 is Kennedy. And they'll actually mark him at the 27, so a pickup of 7 on the play for Kennedy and a Jeannette first down at the Clairton 27-yard line, 1st and 10.
That is their first down of the night, is it not?
Yes, yes it is.
So
lined up to the far side of the field at receiver are Barnes and O'Neal. To the near side is Cunningham and Winters. Now taken by Kennedy, hands it off to Sanders, cuts across the 25 and is wrestled down by Travis Irons at the 24-yard line after a pickup of 3, 2nd and 7 for the Jayhawks.
So Jeannette showing some life on offense now, and they've got Clairton, I don't want to say back on their heels, but they're making them hesitate a little bit, and that's why they're able to get a little bit of running room here.
Winters joins O'Neal and Barnes to the far side. Near side is Cunningham. Kennedy fakes it on the option keeper to the 34, cuts across, gets to the 20-yard line before he's tackled down after a pickup of 4 on the play. And for Jeannette, it's a 3rd down and a manageable 3 on the play. With 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half, 6-0 Clairton leads.
And that's called making something out of nothing, as we've got a timeout being called on the field. Officials there.
Coit Hall is down on the field for the Bears and getting checked out on the near sideline, possibly just an equipment issue. For Jeannette is Robert Kennedy, and he is okay.
Yeah, it looks like they were checking his helmet there.
But Coit Hall is getting checked out on the field, and while they check out Coit Hall, we'll head to a short break. You are watching and listening to 2017 WPIAL High School Football, and it's here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Make Chick-fil-A Robinson your destination for a fast and tasty breakfast. Chick-fil-A Robinson offers a variety of breakfast sandwiches, including sausage, bacon, or, of course, chicken. Breakfast is served hot and fresh daily, featuring our handmade biscuits. Need to feed a crowd or a tailgate on Sunday? Chick-fil-A Robinson Catering has got you covered with hot or reheatable chicken trays. Visit our catering website at www.cfarobinsoncaters.com to book your business or social event today. Chick-fil-A Robinson Catering, we deliver.
Coit Hall being helped off the field with 7:24 left in the first half. Clairton leads Jeannette 6-0 here at Neal Brown Stadium in Clairton, Pennsylvania. I'm Sean Saputo. I'm joined alongside by Lou Rood, and on video this evening, Jess Levo, as Jeannette putting together and establishing its first drive of the game, as Kennedy lines up in the shotgun with Sanders to his right, 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Cunningham, the lone receiver. A jump on the defensive end for the Clairton Bears. First play back from the injury, and a free first down for Jeannette. on the offsides, jumping for the Clairton Bears. Offside on the play. Gonna have to figure out who that is because of the new jerseys.
33.
Not listed. The new jerseys have us all.
Daquan Bradford, 33. Yeah, 33,
Bradford.
Daquan Bradford. I got him on mine.
Thank you, Lou. I didn't have him on mine.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're
Daquan
welcome.
Bradford. So Kennedy takes the snap, 1st and 10 at the 14. He breaks a tackle and dives ahead, picks up a yard on the play. And it's been the Kennedy show on this drive that has kept Jeannette rolling offensively. 2nd and 9, though.
Trayshawn Howard on the stop, and he's been called upon to make a few stops on this drive, as Kennedy has been favoring running to the left.
Trayshawn Howard, as Lou mentioned, cornerback to the left, to the near side. Far side corner is Hines. 3 receivers line up to the far side with O'Neal as well as Winters. Near side is Cunningham. Kennedy back to pass, rolls out, throws over the middle of the field. Pass is incomplete. Flag comes out.
That was just a matter of time. He ran him over before the ball even got there. That was an easy call for the officials.
Pass was intended in the middle of the field for Isaiah Winters, who got bumped down on the play.
That would have been a touch. Well, had the potential to be a touchdown, but he got knocked down before he even had an opportunity to catch the ball. So I believe this will be half the distance to the goal from this point.
1st and 10, or it was 2nd and 9 from the 13-yard line. And the ball is spotted now at the 7-yard line.
It'll be an automatic first down, though, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 7. They put the chains down.
1st and goal for Jeannette. 5:52 left in the first
No, they
half.
picked him back up, so they're saying.
A 2nd down and.
No, now they don't know what they're doing. Now they put him down again. Okay, that's what I thought.
Mass confusion right now.
Yeah,
the officials are trying.
It should be an automatic first down.
Yeah, the pass interference in the book is a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down, and then from
inside the 20, it's half the distance.
And an automatic first down.
And they got to get the.
Yeah, they're lining the sticks up, so it's going to be 2nd down and 3 for Jeannette, or 2 for Jeannette. 3 receivers to the far side. Taking the snap is Kennedy, keeps it himself, cuts back across, doesn't get to the line to gain, and is wrestled down for no gain on the play. 3rd down now.
I'm confused on that one.
I am too. Well, the stick on the far side is still reading 2nd down, so now it says 3rd down. So 3rd down for Jeannette. And 3. Ball on the 8-yard line. They gave Kennedy a loss of 1 on the play. So 3rd down and 3.
The Jeannette fans are going nuts, yelling it should be 2nd down. I think they thought it should have been a automatic first down.
Kennedy keeps, cuts across, is stacked at the 5, and he's wrestled down. Maybe just shy of that line to gain.
Yeah, they're going to spot him short. I thought he made the 5-yard line and then got knocked backwards.
Another Clairton player is down on the field. We'll keep it right here as the officials call time for the injured Bear, trying to get a beat on the number of who is down on the field for the Clairton Bears. And I think it's the backup defensive tackle that came in.
I can't
for
see.
Coit Hall.
Because he's laying down, obviously.
I believe on the field it's Carlito Pettiford, who would be the backup defensive tackle who came in for Coit Hall. And the sticks, I do believe, are reading 4th down for Jeannette.
Yeah, it's 4th and maybe a half a yard, I think, from where they spotted the ball.
Trying to find out who the young man is down. And while he gets worked on, let's take a look at the standings in the WPIAL Class 1A Eastern Conference. Jeannette came into tonight, and as the young man is up, we'll take a look real quick at who it is. It's Dwayne Ringgold. Ringgold is the backup defensive tackle that came in for Coit Hall. Now back to it's Deontay Reddick, who is wearing 56 tonight, the starting defensive end I forgot about the number switch for Reddick. So Reddick coming off. In the Eastern Conference, Jeannette comes in tonight 6-0, 9-0 overall. Clairton 5-1, 6-2. Tylen Lamonti Christian at 5-1, 7-2. Springdale 3-3, 4-5 overall. Bishop Canevin 3-4, 3-5. Greensburg Central Catholic 2-4, 3-6. Riverview 1-6. Leechburg 0-6 in the conference. 4:59 left, and now the clock starts. 6-0. Clairton leads. Jeannette a 4th and 1 at the Clairton 6-yard line. And a hard count got Clairton to jump.
And the same one, number 33 for Clairton. And that is Daquan Bradford. They got him to jump the last time. He jumps this time, and it will be an easy first down for the Jayhawks. Half the distance to the goal, should be about the 2-yard line, it looks like, or 1.5.
Jeannette with a free first down, and Clairton helping Jeannette now as Clairton's defense has stepped up from earlier on in this drive. And now the Jayhawks roll through to the Clairton 2-yard line. 1st and goal. Twins to each side. Kennedy in the shotgun. Moves Sanders to his left. Makes the snap, keeps it. Stacked at the line of scrimmage by the Clairton defense. A bunch of Clairton Bears stacking in on the play. Most notably in on the play, Robinson.
And that was a situation he should have given it to his running back, Imani Sanders, as he popped through untouched. So it will be 2nd and goal, and they lose about 3 yards on the play.
Desmere Pitts in on the tackle as well. Back to the 5-yard line. And flags, and this could be an illegal motion. Ball start on Jeannette. So Jeannette gets to the 2, loses 3 on the keeper, and now back to the 10 on the false start. 2nd and goal from the 10. Six nothing, Clairton leading. 3:45 and counting remaining in the first half. Jeannette knocking on Clairton's door though. 2nd and goal from the 9. Missed snap, and having to fall on it is Kennedy, but a Clairton Bear comes up with the ball, and the referees are going to spot the ball at the 1-yard line. Kennedy having to pick it up as the motion man Winters was going from the near to the far sideline. In the center for Jeannette, Xander Malik snapped it and had to fall on it was Kennedy. And Clairton pumping up right now. 3rd and goal, Jeannette now at the 12. Another loss of 2 for Kennedy. Fans going crazy on each side. 3rd and 12, 3:10 left. Trips to the near side. Kennedy back to pass. Scrambling, rolls out, keeps it, throws into the end zone. Pass incomplete. Trying to tiptoe the out of bounds line on the near side of the end zone was Trey Cunningham. Passing complete. 4th and goal for Jeannette from the Clairton 12-yard line, still trailing 6-0.
Looks like the Jayhawks are going to go for a field goal here.
The Jeannette kicker is Trey Cunningham. And Cunningham will be doing the kicking duties. In to hold is Jackson Pruitt. This is a 29-yard field goal attempt, and a timeout is called by Jeannette with 3:02 left in the first half, and we'll send it to break. The score, Clairton 6, Jeannette nothing. Jeannette with a potential field goal attempt when we come back. You are watching and listening to 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Coverage of the 2017 WPIAL Girls Volleyball and Boys and Girls Soccer Playoffs is only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network. Follow all the action from the preliminary round to audio and video coverage of the district soccer and volleyball championship matches. Your exclusive home for all the WPIAL soccer and volleyball playoffs this fall is here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
And, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lou.
No, you go ahead. I was going to read that, but now they're around the field, so I don't have time.
Okay.
So there.
It's
all yours.
We'll fight over it later. Jeannette is lining up for a 29-yard field goal attempt. Trey Cunningham. The snap, the hold, and it's blocked. Cunningham didn't get enough on it, and it's picked up by Clairton at the 20, to the 50. Now into Jeannette territory is Pruitt, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Pruitt with the touchdown. The kick was blocked. Pruitt scooped it up. Jeannette let it lay there, and Pruitt goes 80 yards for the defensive touchdown.
How do you do? Oh, my gosh. The kick was low. It went into the line. I don't know so much that Clairton blocked it. I think it hit the Jeannette offensive line when it was going in there, and it just laid there, and everybody turned around and said, oh, play's dead, except for Pruitt, who picked it up and took off. And then he got a convoy from other Clairton players helping out, and 12-0 Clairton. And from Jeannette down at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, it turns into a Clairton defensive touchdown.
Anthony Pruitt, an 80-yard fumble, a blocked kick technically, returned for a touchdown. And it is now 12-0 Clairton Bears, and Clairton is on the far sideline huddling up.
And they took a timeout.
Wow.
So now I can read this.
Go ahead.
Okay. Just a reminder that coming up at the half, it's the TribLive High School Sports Halftime Show. This week, Dawn Rebel welcomes Chris Harlan on the TribLive.com, or from the TribLive.com, as they update the WPIAL football postseason picture with some more playoff factoids. Back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Lou. 3:02 left. Clairton scoring on an 80-yard block kick return for a touchdown, and the Bears are going to line up for the 2-point conversion. Trayshawn Howard is in the backfield at quarterback. Has a beefed up line. Howard with 2 receivers to the far side. Lines up in the Wildcat, and a timeout taken on the field for a delay of game.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, and the 25-second clock is right there in the end zone. You can see it. So what are they going to do now? Change the play, maybe.
The ball goes back to the 7-yard line.
Still go for 2, but change the play.
Parsons checks in, the quarterback for the Clairton Bears, on this 2-point conversion now, or they may allow.
They got 12 on the field. They're going to get hit again here if somebody doesn't get off the field.
Well, no, they are going to go for 2 again. 10 seconds left. Irons has to rush off the field, and now Parsons in the game at quarterback, trying to huddle up quickly. 2 seconds on the clock, and Wayne Wade has to call a timeout.
Wow.
Mass confusion for the Clairton Bears for this 2-point conversion, the final timeout of the first half for the Bears. So an 80-yard blocked field goal return for a touchdown, a delay of game on the first attempt of the 2-point conversion, and now a charged timeout is a near delay of game for the second time. Lou?
And they will use up all their timeouts. Don't forget to tune in for This Week in the WPIAL on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Join us as we visit with some of the top WPIAL coaches. Plus, we preview the quarterfinals and first round of the 2017 WPIAL football playoffs. Both these teams have already qualified for the playoffs, but right now, Clairton looking to upset Jeannette and force a 2-way tie at the least, possibly a 3-way tie should Amani Christian win against Leechburg, which I think is probably going to happen tomorrow afternoon. But it would be a 3-way tie, and depending on how much Clairton wins by, if they win by more than 9 points, we're going to be looking at a coin flip to determine the conference champion. 3-way coin flip.
Parsons in the shotgun. Motioning to the near side slot is Howard. Parsons takes the snap, draws back the pass, getting rushed by Johnson. Back corner, Howard for the 2-point conversion. And the Bears make it 14-0 with 3:02 left in the first half.
And that time he just ran a crossing route, came all the way across the end zone. Parsons did a little bootleg action, faked the handoff, and then rolled out to his right, and hit his man wide open in the far corner of the end zone, and it's like you stuck a pin in the balloon that is Jeannette, and it just popped because they are down on their sideline over there. The Clairton side of the field, it's business as usual for the Bears.
This is what Clairton wanted to come in here and do, was make up for what happened earlier on in the season, those losses to Amani Christian and the loss to Jeannette in consecutive week, or excuse me, to Aliquippa in consecutive weeks. And now the Bears,
yeah, they're playing like the Bears of old here tonight,
pushing on the gas pedal against Jeannette, and it's 14-0.
And this is one of those situations where you don't really want to face the Bears the rest of the way out now.
Does not look like it as Ogletree lines the kick up. And a line drive kick recovered at the 30 by Johnson, gets to the 40, wrapped up and tackled down at the 45-yard line, maybe the 46. Johnson picks up 15 on the return for Jeannette, who starts in its own territory. And the ball is spotted at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Jeannette will take over. 2:56 left in the first half.
And Jeannette needs to try and see if they can score, but at the same time, they don't want to go 3 and out and give the ball back to Clairton and give them a chance to get another scoring opportunity before the half.
Kennedy lines up in the backfield with Malik Gordon, 3 receivers to each side. Motioning to the far side of the field is Burgeon. Taking the snap is Kennedy, looking over the middle of the field, throws, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for Burgeon, and it is 2nd and 10 for Jeannette. 2:51 left in the first half. Clairton leading 14-0. Lou mentioned the current playoff situation. If Clairton wins by 10 or more points, a potential 3-way coin flip will determine the conference champion. Kennedy back to pass, throwing to the far side of the field. Pass is caught, and losing his footing after a loss of a yard on the play is Amani Sanders. And it's 3rd down and 11 for Jeannette. Again, moving backwards. 2.5 minutes remain in the first half. The first completion of the night for Robert Kennedy to a Jayhawk. The only other completion tonight for Kennedy went to Trayshawn Howard on the interception, first play of the game. Empty set for Jeannette. 3 receivers to the near side. Kennedy, quarterback keeper on the design, gets across the 50, 45, flag down in the backfield by the line of scrimmage. Tackled at the 40-yard line, and now Clairton's going to offset it as Burgeon draws a penalty, and it was Devlin Clifford with the late shove. So a hold will most likely be called back at the line of scrimmage, and then the penalty on Devlin Clifford for the personal foul.
Offsetting penalties, and we'll play 3rd down over again. That would be my guess, unless it was a dead ball foul here at the end.
Call the hold.
In which case they'd mark 10 off and then mark 15 back.
And the personal foul.
Nope, they're going to call them offsetting.
I think, did they call 2 holdings?
No.
It looked like he called holding, pointed,
Yeah.
holding, pointed, and then the personal foul.
Yeah, he waved him off.
Okay, so nonetheless, offsetting penalties, still 3rd down and 11 for Jeannette, back on its own 44-yard line. So the Kennedy run is negated. It was a gain of 16 on the play, and now Kennedy has to line back up. 3 receivers to the far side. Burgeon, who just drew the personal foul in the slot. Kennedy rolls out to his right, looking downfield. He's wrapped up from behind and sacked at the 41-yard line. In on the sack for the Clairton Bears defensively is Jordan Hines, and it will bring up a 4th down and 13.
And here's where having to use your timeouts when they had that snafu during the extra point attempt there costs you, because you could stop the clock otherwise and have a little extra time here.
4th down and 14, a minute and 20 seconds left in the first half. Howard back to return the punt. Cunningham to punt from his own 30-yard line. Takes the snap, steps up, lets go the boot. Trayshawn Howard steps up to field at his own 20. Coming to the far side of the field, then goes between the hashes and then stops and just takes the tackle at the 25-yard line. So Clairton, 75 yards left, a minute and 4 remaining in the first half. 14-0 the score. 0
timeouts. So I don't look for Clairton to go quietly into the half. I think they're probably going to take a shot here. See if they can't hit a long ball again, or at the very least a screen or a crossing route where they can break somebody free and get them in open territory and use their speed.
And referee,
they got a problem with the chains. They're trying to fix the chains there. It looks like one of them came off the pole down there on the far side. So
taking a look at the numbers in the first half, Robert Kennedy, who's been so effective all season, 1 for 6 passing, -1 yard, and 1 interception.
And you know what the key is to that? Number 1, tight man-to-man coverage by the Clairton defensive backs. Number 2, a blitzing, attacking defense that has not given him much time to throw and forced him to scramble a lot tonight.
Parsons in the shotgun, hands it off to Howard, breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, goes off left tackle, dives ahead and picks up the first down after a gain of 11 yards on the play. And the clock is still rolling. Officials finally stop it at 52 seconds after the 11-yard pickup by Trayshawn Howard. And Clairton has to move quickly now with 52 seconds left in the half. Ball now on the 36-yard line. Clairton not moving too quickly. Ball has been spotted. Parsons calls the play. 2 receivers lined up to the near side. Devlin Clifford, receiver out towards the sideline. Sidecar to the right, faking the handoff as Parsons, diving ahead, breaks a tackle. He's wrapped up by Johnson and thrown to the turf. And a pickup of a yard on the play for Parsons. Some chatter between Johnson and Barry. And Barry has to move Keyshawn Wright out of bickering territory. 15 seconds left after the 1-yard pickup by Parsons, and with 10 seconds left, Clairton might try to run one last play. 6 seconds left. Parsons trying to get Clairton set up. 3, 2, Parsons in the shotgun and will not get the play off, and the Bears will take it to the half. The score after 1 half of play from Neal Brown Stadium, it's Clairton 14, Jeannette nothing. You are listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Check out the new TribLive High School Sports Network on social media this season. For breaking news, scores, pictures, videos, links to our articles, and more, follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle TribLive HSSN. Get in the conversation on Facebook at facebook.com/TribLive HSSN. And on our YouTube channel, you can find thousands of interviews with local student athletes and coaches, plus highlights and full games. The spot for Western Pennsylvania high school sports on social media this season is the new TribLive High School Sports Network. Check out the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
Log on every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for the latest high school football news during This Week in the WPIAL, only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network. Join Don Rebel and other members of the TribLive High School Sports Network team as it visits with WPIAL football coaches, plus they run down the upcoming schedule and preview the weekend's top high school football games. That's This Week in the WPIAL every Wednesday at 7 p.m. this fall, only on the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
In another season of change, the one thing that remains the same is exclusive coverage of the WPIAL football playoffs, only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network, starting with the playoff pairing show Monday, October 30th. Whether it's the highway to Hines or the road to RMU, it starts with the WPIAL Playoff Pairing Show, Monday, October 30th at 7 p.m., only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the TribLive High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome back to Neal Brown Stadium. The score at the half, Clairton 14, Jeannette nothing. As the Bears score early in the game, Trayshawn Howard, an 87-yard touchdown reception from Brendan Parsons made it 6-0. The extra point attempt was no good. And then later in the game, Jeannette attempting a 29-yard field goal. The kick went into the offensive line. It was blocked down. Nobody went and picked it up except Anthony Pruitt for Clairton, who took it 80 yards for the scoop and score touchdown. That made it 12-0. And then after a couple miscues on the two-point conversion, the Bears pick up the 7-yard two-point conversion pass. It was Parsons to Trayshawn Howard, and the score was 14-0, where we stand at the half. Taking a look at the first half numbers for the leading Clairton Bears. On the ground, Trayshawn Howard leading the way with 8 carries and 45 yards. Parsons has 2 carries for -1 yard, and Barry has 2 carries for 6 yards. Parsons passing 3 for 4 for 87 yards and a touchdown. The 2 receptions going to Trayshawn Howard for 87 and 2 yards for 89 yards and a touchdown. And 1 reception for Clairton's Leonard Robinson went for -2 yards. On the other side, for Clairton, 50 yards on the ground, 87 in the air, 137 yards in the first half. For Jeannette, Robert Kennedy, 13 carries, 13 yards in the first half. And on the ground, Amani Sanders, 3 carries for 5 yards. Zach Burgeon, 1 carry, -2 yards. In the passing game, there was 1 catch in the first half for Jeannette. It was Amani Sanders. It went for -1 yard. Robert Kennedy went 1 for 6, -1 yard, and an interception in the first half in the passing game. For the Jeannette Jayhawks, who have been so dominant all season, 16 yards on the ground, -1 yard in the air, 15 yards at halftime for the Jeannette Jayhawks, who trail 14-0. With that, we will send it to our halftime show. You are listening and watching to 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Halftime show, week 9, here on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Don Rebel, Chris Harlan of Trib Total Media here alongside as we once again, for a second straight week, take a look at the playoff situation. Postseason next week, Chris. Can you believe it?
Yeah, we're here. 1 week to go, 1 half to go, and we're playoff time.
That's right. Regular season in the books soon, and we get into the highway to Hines and the road to Robert Morris. All right, let's start 6A. All 8 teams, the playoff field is set. Pine Richland, Pittsburgh Central Catholic, North Allegheny, Penn Hills out of the Northern 7. Bethel Park, Mount Lebanon, Peters Township, and Norwin in from the Southeastern Conference. The final order to be determined tonight.
I think the big question here when you look at 6A is the gap still big between the North and the South? Last year, the North got all 4 teams to the semifinal. this year, if you look at those 4 northern qualifiers, they went 11-1 against the South this year. The only South team to beat a North qualifier was Bethel Park over North Allegheny. We'll see if that gap has narrowed at all this year.
Yeah, good call. The 5A Allegheny 9 conference set, again, ordered to be determined. We know Upper St. Clair is 1, West Allegheny is 2. Woodland Hills and Fox Chapel also in from the Allegheny 9. Penn Trafford, Gateway, Franklin Regional, McKeesport from the Big East. All 4 of those teams going head-to-head tonight.
Yeah, how about a playoff factoid here?
Oh, nice.
Upper St. Clair in for the 35th time in 36 years. That's pretty good consistency there for Coach Jim Render.
That's pretty dominant. You'll scratch your head and wonder what happened that one year that they didn't make the playoffs. All right, 4A in the Northwest 9 Conference. As we speak, South Fayette taking on Montour for the conference championship. Newcastle Mars also in. From the Big 9 Conference, 3 of the 4 teams are in. Bell Vernon, Thomas Jefferson, West Mifflin is in. Trinity, the best chance to be the 8th team.
I think it'll be interesting to see how they seed that 4A bracket next week.
You think that'll be the toughest one, or you think 5A?
I think 5A will be tough. I think 4A is interesting now that Thomas Jefferson isn't the number 1 or number 2 seed coming in.
Yeah, that's true. How do you keep those teams sort of away? Do you keep TJ Bell Vernon opposite sides? Do you keep TJ South Fayette opposite sides no matter what happens tonight? That will be interesting. All right, we'll take a look at 3A, 2A, and 1A, a little murkier when the halftime show continues on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the TribLive High School Sports Network.
In another season of change, the one thing that remains the same is exclusive coverage of the WPIAL football playoffs only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network, starting with the playoff pairing show Monday, October 30th. Whether it's the highway to Hines or the road to RMU, it starts with the WPIAL playoff pairing show Monday, October 30th at 7 p.m. only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network. Halftime show continues here in Week 9 on the brink of the WPIAL postseason. We're giving you playoff factoids and also just the playoff picture, trying to get it squared away. Remember, the abacus will be shining bright tonight during the WPIAL scoreboard show. Don Rebel, Chris Harlan. We continue. Class 3A, Aliquippa, Quaker Valley in from the Beaver Valley Conference. Seton LaSalle, Freeport in from the Allegheny Conference. Interstate Conference, a little bit of a mess with South Park upsetting Elizabeth Forward, but we know both those teams, the Warriors and Eagles, are in.
Yeah, this AAA wild card, that's kind of the one to watch coming into tonight. Right now, coming in, Beaver had the edge coming out of their conference. The one team, maybe the best team left out this year, might be Shadyside Academy. Yeah. The Gardner points weren't in their favor coming into tonight.
Yeah, barring upsets, all it takes is really one upset to sort of overturn the apple cart, but barring upsets, it appears that the two wild cards will come from the Interstate Conference and the Beaver Valley Conference, which is good news for Beaver Bobcat fans who were on the outside looking in a year ago. In Class 2A, Three Rivers Conference, Steel Valley, East Allegheny, Brentwood, Sarah Catholic, Avonworth, all in. Midwestern Athletic Conference, Cardinal Rural North Catholic, Riverside, Neshannock, Mohawk, Freedom, all in. Century Conference, Washington, Charleroi, Burgettstown, Beth Center, and Fraser all in. So 15 of the 16 teams, all that's needs to be decided beside order of finish in those respective conferences is the wild card. And right now, looks like that'll come down to probably either Laurel or Bentworth.
Yeah, for those teams hoping to make the road to Robert Morris, the WPIAL decided this week that those championship games will be on Saturday, November 25th, with single A at noon and the double A at 6 o'clock that day.
Which I believe is the same order and times a year ago, right?
It is. It is. Saturday after Thanksgiving.
All right. Class 1A, Eastern Conference, Jeannette Clairton getting at it at Neal Brown tonight. Those two teams are in. Imani Christian has also clinched. Only 3 teams in from the Eastern Conference, with Springdale, Bishop Canevin, and Greensburg Central Catholic trying to get in, and all 6 could get in with the wild card this evening. Tri-County South, California, Carmichael's, West Green, Fort Cherry, all in. Big 7 Conference, Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, Rochester, Western Beaver, and Union are in. 1, possibly 2 spots still up for grabs. Wild card not as clear cut as it is in Double A.
I think one discussion you're going to hear over the next month or two is whether they shrink double and single A playoff fields. You know, everyone talks about they shrunk AAA last year to 8. I think there might be a movement out there when some of the look at some of the teams that are qualifying in double and single, that maybe they try to shrink that one to 8, but I think that'll be a big debate and a lot of discussion before they could ever do something like that.
Well, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago when we were discussing realignment. In a way, I think what we have found in 3A, it makes the regular season much more important when you're only guaranteed 2 teams plus possible wild card. Whereas in 2A and 1A, with 5, possibly 6 teams making it, a little much. But then you're also, from a district standpoint, you're cutting down playoff games, thus you're cutting down potential revenue.
Yeah, but then that would move them all to the same weekend too. All 6 championships would end at the same time if they shorten those playoff fields. So
that's true.
I think it'll be a debate over the next couple months as they work towards realignment. I think you'll hear it come up. I'm not saying it'll happen. I'm not even saying it's likely, but I think that's something that will be debated.
But unless you're going to play them all at Heinz Field over 2 days, and I'm not saying that's their game plan, then it really doesn't matter if they all are, in the same weekend.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Good stuff, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the second half of the game you're listening to here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
I'll send it to you for the scores. Back at Neal Brown Stadium, we're 5.5 minutes away from the second half, and the score, Clairton 14 and Jeannette nothing, as Rood and I are going over and roaming the Twitter feed as to see some scores around the WPIAL. Jess Levo is giving herself a break, and as Lou continues to roll through.
I'm efforting the scores right here as fast as I can.
We have about as many as we can possibly get at this current juncture.
And we're hitting every outlet that we can, every media outlet that we can get a hold of. There's a new one that I don't have.
I've typed in WPIAL, I've typed in WPIAL scores on Twitter, and we're just roaming through. If you're just joining us, you can listen and watch this game on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Myself, Sean Saputo, with Lou Rood on the call, as Jess Levo runs our video this evening.
All right, this is what I've got so far for you, Sean.
Take it over, Lou.
Oh, as I get my back straightened back out. Oh, and I was at the chiropractor today getting worked on, and it felt so good. I'm going to have to go back again tomorrow morning. Anyway, Class 6A, Northern 7 Conference. We got Pine Richland up 21-7 over North Allegheny. Also in the Northern 7, it is Pittsburgh Central Catholic 14, Penn Hills nothing. Southeastern Conference, Bethel Park leads Mount Lebanon 14-7. Non-conference 6A, Butler over Canna McMillan 21-7, and Seneca Valley leads Altoona 28-13. 5A, Allegheny 9 Conference, Moon leading West Allegheny 7-3. McKeesport in the Big East Conference upsetting Penn Trafford right now by a score of 20-10. I saw on one of the feeds that McKeesport already has 300 yards rushing in the first half.
McKeesport?
McKeesport.
Wow.
300 yards rushing in the first half. In the showdown out at Franklin Regional, it's Gateway 13, Franklin Regional 10 in the Big 8, 5A Big East Conference. And Kiski leads Armstrong 6-0. 4A Northwest 9 Conference, South Fayette 14, Montour 7. 4A Big 9 Conference, it's TJ 17, West Mifflin nothing. Trinity 21, Ringgold 7. Continuing into 3A Beaver Valley Conference, Aliquippa 47, Hopewell nothing. Quaker Valley 13, Elwood City nothing, and Beaver leading Beaver Falls 41-0. 3A Allegheny Conference, it is Keystone Oaks 14, Seton LaSalle 3. Freeport leading Valley 21-0. The Interstate Conference in 3A, Derry and McGuffey, huge game there, 28-26.
McGuffey taking the lead with a field goal, 7 seconds left in the first half.
Wow, so 28-26, and that is a huge one. Since EF got beat by South Park last week, could have a 3-way tie if Derry wins, or could have a 2-way tie between South Park and EF, depending on how that plays out. And South Park leading easily right now over York 28-7. 3A versus 2A non-conference. The aforementioned Elizabeth Forward Warriors 14-7 over Burgettstown. Also 3A, 2A, South Allegheny leading Apollo Ridge 13-0. In 3A, 2A again, it is Southside Beaver 27, Waynesburg 14. 2A Century Conference, All Wash High 35-12 over Beth Center. Charleroi 34-0 over Brownsville. Midwestern Athletic Conference in 2A, Cardinal Wuerl North Catholic 24-0 over Freedom. Neshannock and Mohawk tied at 7. 2A Three Rivers Conference, East Allegheny 7, Sarah Catholic 0. 2A non-conference, it is Laurel 42, Carleton 7. Our game here, Clairton on top 14-0 in the 1A Eastern Conference. In the 1A Big 7 Conference, it's Rochester over Beaver 8-0. Big 7 Conference, it's Union 41, Shenango 0. Tri-County South, California 28, West Green 0. Monessen 8, Mapletown 6. And those are what I have, unless you got some further updates there you want to share with us. You know, that's what I've got to this point.
That's
Try
all I
and
have.
update what I have here on my Twitter feed and see.
Altoona
I've got
2014 now.
Yeah, I got Norwin 10-0 over Hempfield at the half.
Altoona completed a Hail Mary as the clock expired at halftime. PAT was blocked, 28-13. Altoona trails Seneca Valley. I have Pine Richland 21-7 still. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I have there. And just continuing to look around here to see if there's anything else. I get a lot of feeds from USC football, meaning Upper St. Clair, but they neglect to put the score in them.
21-14 now, Pine Richland in North Allegheny.
Good one there.
Greensburg-Salem, did you have that one?
No, I did not.
21-7, Greensburg-Salem over Uniontown early in the second quarter.
Yeah, I still have South Fayette and Montour 14-7.
Springdale GCC, Springdale up 14-10. Second half just underway.
Okay.
And while we continue to scroll through some scores, we get ready as the second half about to begin at Neal Brown Stadium in Clairton. 137 first half yards for the Bears, 15 first half yards for the Jeannette Jayhawks. Those stats, of course, unofficial.
And right now, before we get started, just a reminder, if Clairton wins by more than 9 points, by 10 points, and Imani Christian does the same tomorrow, you'll have a 3-way tie for first place. Clairton, Imani Christian, and Jeannette, they're all tied on Gardner points and tiebreaker points, and a coin flip would decide first place. And right now, Clairton with a 14-point lead, so we could be headed for a coin flip to determine the winner of the conference.
And Clairton gets the ball to open the second half.
Need to see what Coach Roy Hall has done, what adjustments he's made to get his offense going here in the second half, because they have not done much of anything to this point in the game.
Cunningham to kick, back to return, Trayshawn Howard and Keyshawn Wright. From the 40-yard line, left to right, the kick is a line drive on the ground, fielded by Wright at the 16-yard line, goes to the middle of the field, now trying to break to the far side of the field, wrapped up and tackled down. Small pickup of about 4 yards on the return, and a great job by the Jeannette kick cover team to pin Clairton deep in its own territory to open the second half.
And they flew down with a purpose and a fury, so Coach Roy Hall might have been blistering the paint in the locker rooms here at Neal C. Brown Stadium at the half, trying to get his Jayhawks fired up for the second half. We'll see how it plays out here.
As Clairton takes over, ball spotted at its own 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Parsons in at quarterback in the shotgun. 3 receivers lined up near sideline. Motions a receiver to the far side. Handoff Trayshawn Howard. Cuts across the 20, 25, 30. Far sideline, 40, 50. No one to beat. 40, 30, 20, 10. Book it for the Clairton Bears. 20-0. Trayshawn Howard, one play, 83 yards and a touchdown.
Did not take long for Clairton to express themselves here at the start of the second half. An electrifying run by Trayshawn Howard. Tell you what, they just ran an outside zone. He found a seam, got through to the secondary before they even realized he had the ball, and then kicked in the jets, and you saw me waving. He was at the 50-yard line. I'm waving bye-bye at that point because there was nobody catching him. Unreal start to the second half for the Clairton Bears.
Trayshawn Howard nearly doubles his rushing total of the first half. 8 carries for 45 yards, 83 yards on that touchdown run. In to kick is Ogletree. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and the kick is good for the Clairton Bears, and Ogletree is down on the play, limping.
Oh, he got roughed.
But
no questions asked. He got roughed.
No call on
no
the play.
Flags thrown. I mean, he got taken out, and he wasn't blocked into him. He just got wiped out. That was an egregious error by the officials on that one.
I was watching the kick go through. Lou, thank you for spotting that. But
you know, Coach Wayne Wade's out on the field. If it was me, I'd be out by the hash marks myself, getting a piece of the officials on that one.
Coach Wade with the towel wrapped on the side of him and livid at the fact that his kicker Ogletree was unable to get a call. But with 11:38 left in the third quarter, Clairton takes a commanding 21-0 lead. You're listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary record tan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com.
Back at Neal C. Brown Stadium, Clairton one play in the second half. An 83-yard touchdown run. Ogletree now kicking it away right to left. Fielded at the 21-yard line and taking it to the far hash marks and wrapped up and tackled down shy of the 30-yard line is Elijah O'Neal. So Jeannette pinned back at its own 28-yard line to start its first drive of the second half with 11:33 remaining in the third quarter.
And now it's imperative for Jeannette. They have to answer here. They have to score, or they're in danger of Clairton with feeling the confidence that they have right now, just running them right out of the Neal C. Brown Stadium.
Clairton's 3 touchdowns have all been from 80 yards, an 87-yard touchdown pass, an 83-yard touchdown run, and an 80-yard blocked field goal return for a touchdown. Kennedy in the shotgun, hands the ball off to Sanders, stacked up at the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. A late push coming through from the secondary, and it's 2nd down and 10.
And that was number 33 for Clairton. We've only mentioned him for bad things tonight. Let's give him credit for something good that time. Daquan Bradford made the play at the line of scrimmage.
Bradford in it, defensive end. Clairton running a 5-3 stack. Kennedy in the shotgun, 2x2 receivers, rolls out to his right, looking downfield, steps up, trying to run, nowhere to go, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage yet again, and no gain on the play, and it's 3rd down and 10 for Jeannette.
And you can tell Clairton's feeling pretty good because they're doing a lot of woofing out there right now. I mean, they're after every play, they're letting Jeannette have it, saying, yeah, you're in our house now, guys.
As a late substitution comes on for the Clairton Bears. And it's 3rd down and 10.
Not that I'm condoning it, but that's just Clairton being Clairton.
Kennedy in the shotgun, moves 3 receivers to the far side, rolls out to his left. Steps up, looking to pass, avoids the pressure. He's sacked from behind. It's Bradford at the 20-yard line. Another sack of Robert Kennedy. A loss on the play of 9 yards. And it's 4th down for the Jayhawks, the punt team, to come on.
And Jeannette in danger of having the wheels come off here early in the second half. Went in at halftime down 14-0. And one quick score makes it 21-0 on one play drive. And now they're going to go 3 and out here, and they went backwards in the drive.
Cunningham to punt. Trayshawn Howard to return. Cunningham boots it. Howard goes to the far sideline looking to recover it, but lets it roll out of bounds, and it will be spotted at the 43-yard line. Clairton to start in its own territory with 9:24 left in the 3rd quarter. The Bears lead 21-0.
And now Jeannette's defense has to step up. They have to make the plays this time. They cannot let Clairton score again. You know, or it's going to be it's a tough task now. They let them score again, a 4-score deficit. It's going to be next to impossible the way the Bears are playing tonight.
In 9 games, Robert Kennedy had over 1,800 yards total offense and 21 touchdowns just in the air. But tonight, Robert Kennedy, 15 carries for 4 yards and 1 for 6 passing for -1 yard. 3 total yards for Robert Kennedy tonight of Jeannette. 21-0 Clairton leading. Ball on the far hashes. Three receivers to the far side. Handoff goes to Trayshawn Howard off a right guard. Follows the right tackle, and he breaks through the line again. 30, 20, 10. Trayshawn Howard, a man amongst boys in the second half. Another long touchdown run, this one from 56 yards, and the Bears lead 27-0.
Same play they scored on the last time. Ran an outside zone. This time he saw the opening to the outside, bounced it when it was closed up right off tackle, and bounced it to the outside, hit the sides, and he was gone just inside the sideline. Kicked the Jets in. Goodbye. See ya. Touchdown.
9:14 left in the 3rd, and Clairton on 2 plays offensively have put up the same amount of points it did in the first half, almost, pending the extra point. Ogletree to take the extra point, and a flag on the play, and Jeannette may have jumped.
They got Jeannette for jumping offside.
Offsides, and it's Johnson, the guilty party. So move the ball up half the distance.
I think they're going to go for 2 now. They're getting the kicker out of there. They're going for 2.
Well, Ogletree has it lined up. Barry is coming out on the field.
Well, they're going to change it real fast. They're getting people out of there. They're going for 2.
And Parsons throws the tee off to the side. Good call, Lou. And now a huddle.
Better make sure they better huddle fast. Clock is continuing to run.
10 seconds.
But that doesn't matter at this point. They're not real concerned about it.
Clairton runs up
They
to
might
the line.
take a timeout here.
Parsons in the shotgun, getting lined up. Gets the snap off and just in time, and a late hit after the whistle blows, but a timeout is called by Clairton before the clock hit 0 for the false start.
Did they get the timeout in, or are they going to mark off 5?
Well, the official on the near side.
Yeah, he got the timeout. They got it in.
Off, so we'll take a short break as well as Clairton prepares for the 2-point conversion. The score, Clairton 27, And Jeannette, nothing. You're listening to and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
There's a new fear, not of better options, of rising loan rates. It's real. Rates have gone up, and Dollar Bank still has one of the lowest around. With a rate as low as 3.29% APR with only $50,000 borrowed, fixed for 7 years, there's nothing to fear. You can renovate the kitchen or update a bathroom or two. So lock in your rate now before they, well, I don't want to say it out loud. If choosing the better option is your worry, you can be confident that Dollar Bank's loan experts have only your best interests in mind, since they're not paid a commission. So lock in your rate before they go up again. Get those home improvements done with a rate as low as 3.29% APR, fixed for 7 years. Longer terms are available. Stop by, call 1-800-242-BANK, or visit dollar.bank. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired.
The snap on the extra point is up. The kick by Ogletree is through the sticks. In the score, 28-0. The Clairton Bears lead the Jeannette Jayhawks with 9:14 left in the third quarter. And we'll take it to another break real quick. You're listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
There's a new fear, not of better options, of rising loan rates. It's real. Rates have gone up, and Dollar Bank still has one of the lowest around. With a rate as low as 3.29% APR with only $50,000 borrowed, fixed for 7 years, there's nothing to fear. You can renovate the kitchen or update a bathroom or two. So lock in your rate now before they, well, I don't want to say it out loud. If choosing the better option is your worry, you can be confident that Dollar Bank's loan experts have only your best interests in mind, since they're not paid a commission. So lock in your rate before they go up again. Get those home improvements done with a rate as low as 3.29% APR, fixed for 7 years. Longer terms are available. Stop by, call 1-800-242-BANK, or visit dollar.bank. Dollar Bank, mutually inspired. Rate is for well-qualified borrowers and includes a discount with a maintained qualifying checking account. Not available for the refinance of a Dollar Bank loan, line, or mortgage of less than $15,000 in new money. Monthly payment of $13.34 per $1,000 borrowed. Other terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice. Equal housing lender.
Kickoff is taken on the far hashes and brought up the near sideline, breaking tackle, but running into his own man before being crashed down to the turf is Elijah O'Neal. And Jeannette had a possibility of a huge kick return, but O'Neal, running into his up man, is tackled down just shy of the 35-yard line. So Jeannette, with 9:06 left in the third quarter, takes over, trailing now 28-0 in Lou. It's been on the hands of Trayshawn Howard. 2 carries, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the second half.
Not too shabby. Plus, he had a long touchdown reception in the first half and an 80-plus yard touchdown run.
So Robert Kennedy and the Jayhawks have to figure things out offensively now. As Kennedy moves Sanders to the sidecar right, motions a man, fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right, looking downfield, pass to the turf, incomplete. And
actually, he had the long touchdown catch because the other touchdown was the 80-yard blocked field goal return by Pruitt.
Kennedy continuing to struggle in the air.
But he might have another 80-yard touchdown run in him the way he's been going so far tonight.
Touchdowns for Trayshawn Howard of 87, 83, and 57. Wow. 227 of the 237, or 277 Clairton yards are Trayshawn Howard. 2-by-2, Kennedy takes the snap. Design quarterback sneak on the near sideline, crosses midfield and picks up the first down. Nudged out of bounds at the Clairton 47-yard line.
Yeah, it was just design quarterback draw. He took off, took 2 steps back and then took off, didn't even look to throw the ball. And again, it's the intense, tight man-to-man coverage that Clairton's playing on the Jeannette receivers that, has basically taken away the passing attack of the Jeannette Jayhawks.
So 1st and 10 after the pickup of 19 on the play by Kennedy. Drops back the pass. Looking over the middle of the field, now goes near sideline, pass is intercepted in the secondary, and taken up the near sideline 50, grabbed by the face mask and tackled down on the play. Defensively, Leonard Robinson, who plays tight end offensively with the interception, the second of the night had the helmet ripped off from the face mask, and the Bears a turnover. And in the third quarter, with 8:37 left, the Jeannette Jayhawks turn it back over to the Clairton Bears, and Clairton will start deep into Jeannette territory.
Yeah, ball spotted at the 41-yard line, and they're going to tack 15 onto that. So it'll be down around the 26-yard line when all is said and done.
And Malik Gordon is pleading his case to the officials, but
when you rip the helmet off of the kid, it makes it kind of obvious, and the ball will be spotted at the 26. And if the wheels were wobbling before on the Jeannette wagon, they're getting ready to fall off completely here.
Parsons brings the offense on the field, the 1st and 10 from the Jeannette 26-yard line, and the 28-0 Clairton Bear lead. Howard sidecar to the left. 2 big runs already. Motioning to the far side of the field is Keyshawn Wright. Taking the snap, handing it off to Howard, breaking the first tackle, but a great job defensively by Johnson, not allowing Trayshawn Howard to get past the first level. A loss of 1 on the play, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, he tried to run that outside zone again. Johnson, unblocked on the far side, ran him down from behind in the backfield. Probably a good thing he did, because there was a lot of running room out there.
Clairton prepares for a 2nd down, and they'll actually mark it a 2-yard loss. So 2nd and 12 from the 27-yard line. 28-0 the Bears lead. Parsons will stay in the shotgun formation, moves Pruitt to the slot on the near side. Trayshawn Howard is lined up at wide receiver on the far side, and motioning was Pruitt, taking the snap, and
I think illegal procedure.
A fault. Delay
of game.
For the 2nd time on Clairton tonight, and it's nearly happened 3 total times on the Bears. So now 2nd and 17 on Clairton. This Clairton team, you could say a lot of people, around the WPIAL, a little worried about this team, who has been on a run hadn't lost 1 regular season game in 4 years,
yeah.
7 years.
I wouldn't say they were worried about them. They were probably wondering about them. But the only people be worried about them be the Clairton people, because you respect Clairton, but they don't always engender love from other teams.
Parsons in the shotgun, motions Trayshawn Howard to the slot on the far side of the field. Drops back to pass. Johnson gets picked up by Pruitt on the block. Pass is collected by Howard on the far side of the field. Wrestled down after getting forward progress to the 31-yard line, or the 29-yard line. Mere pickup of 3 on the play for Trayshawn Howard.
Kennedy on the stop for Jeannette. I think taking a little bit of his frustrations out there he's had on offense on Trayshawn Howard. Tossed him to the ground and kind of rolled him afterwards.
3rd down and 14 for Clairton. You're right. Maybe the Clairton fans worried, but
Clairton has a tendency. They're good. They know they're good, and they let you know they're good. and that's the best way to put it. They are brash.
3 receivers bunched to the far side right. Parsons in the shotgun, hard count. Johnson jumps defensively, and from 3rd and 14 will now be a 3rd down and 9 for the Clairton Bears with 6:35 left in the 3rd quarter.
So to say other people would be worried about them, no, they were probably enjoying it.
Quite
a few of the people were, in the Class A ranks were enjoying it. Because they have run roughshod on the WPIAL and even at the state level. For a fairly long period of time, and that people tend not to like that.
7 years
when it happens. Yeah,
1 loss in the regular season in 7 years. Was it 5 straight state championships?
60 in a row they won. Yep.
4 straight WPIAL championships. Parsons takes the snap, hands it off. Trayshawn Howard follows the center between the center and the left guard. Gets up to the 20-yard line, picks up a late flag on the play, and we'll see what that's about. Holding the ball was Johnson for Jeannette.
The way it got thrown, I'm thinking somebody's getting an unsportsmanlike or a personal foul here. The only question is which way it's going.
So the official comes out to make the call.
Personal foul.
Jeannette.
It's going the Jayhawks' way.
So a pickup of 4 for Trayshawn Howard, and then after the play, a personal foul on Jeannette. So half the distance to the goal. And being spotted at the 10-yard line for the 1st and 10 is the Clairton Bears, so 1st and goal. 6:06 left in the 3rd quarter. 28-0. Clairton leads Jeannette. 2 receivers over to the far sideline for the Bears. Barry in at running back next to Parsons to his left. Jeannette in a 3-5 stack. Taking the low snap as Parsons hands it off. Barry off right tackle, cuts back across, touchdown, Clairton. Barry for 10 yards, and it's 34-0 Clairton.
Inside zone play, and he just read it beautifully. Had a seam and walked in, as you said, untouched, and kicked this extra point. The mercy rule will be in effect, and who would have thought that tonight in this direction?
Not even just that. Who would have thought it? When I came into this game, I was expecting 2 teams that are very close, very similar, hard-fought teams. I was expecting a battle, but wow, Clairton showing off, I would say probably anger from the middle 2 weeks of the season with Amani Christian and Aliquippa making teams know that we are still here.
That sign at the beginning of the game, the run-through sign, I think that has a lot to do with it here.
Ogletree's extra point is up, and the sky kick is just wide right. So with 5:44 left in the 3rd quarter, the mercy rule will have to wait for a little while as the Clairton Bears take a 34-0 lead over the Jeannette Jayhawks here at Neal Brown Stadium. You are watching and listening 2017 WPIAL High School Football, and it's here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
The new TribLive High School Sports Network is the place to go every day this fall.
On Mondays, we have the latest top 10 football rankings.
Also on Monday, we check in on the former district stars now making the grade in college with WPIAL alum Q&A.
Tuesday is a look back at the biggest and best plays from the previous Scholastic football weekend with the plays of the week.
We go big game hunting on Wednesday with a preview of the top WPIAL football contests.
I'll look into my crystal ball on Thursday with the wildly popular Chicks Picks.
A complete rundown of all the games comes your way on Friday, plus plenty of broadcasts to choose from on Friday nights.
On Saturday, we'll take a look at the top performances with Friday night highlights. Then on Sunday, a look back at the previous day's high school standouts with Saturday's Scholastic Stars.
This fall, the place to go for all of your high school sports coverage every day of the week is the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
Ogletree to kick it off for the Bears, end over end. Taken at the 20-yard line by O'Neal. And now a drop back to Robert Kennedy, and he's bottled up and tackled down at the 26-yard line. Jeannette looking for a little trickery, but Robert Kennedy gets stiffed out on the pitch back from O'Neal, and now a Clairton player is down holding his ribs, and he pops back up. And
that's Bradford, I think.
Yeah, Bradford was down. Probably took a crack on the kick coverage, but Jeannette starts at its own 27-yard line. 34-0. The Jayhawks are trailing Clairton with 5:37.
Did you
left.
expect this?
As I mentioned just moments ago, I expected this game to be very competitive.
I did
like
too.
A 20-12, 18-12, something along those lines. I did not see this coming from either squad as Kennedy drops back to pass, looks far sideline, incomplete yet again for Robert Kennedy. Just has not been able to get the flow going offensively, especially in the air. 3 completed passes tonight, 2 of them to the Bears. 2nd and 10. 0 for 3 this half. And if you look at Jeannette this season, Lou, against East Allegheny allowed 26 points. The season high of points allowed was 36 to Amani Christian.
And I've seen East Allegheny. They are a solid AA team.
And the rest of and that's Jeannette playing up in that game.
Yeah.
The rest of the way, the most points after Amani Christian, 14 to Springdale. Jeannette, Kennedy takes the handoff, hands it to Sanders, breaks a tackle to the 35-40. Almost breaks another tackle. He's wrapped up and settled down at the 43-yard line. On the pickup for Sanders is a pickup of 16 and a Jeannette first down.
And a good, solid open field tackle by Jordan Hines of Clairton, where Sanders had the potential to take it a lot further.
Jeannette with 3 shutouts this season, allowed teams to 7 or fewer points 6 times. Kennedy in the shotgun, 2-by-2 receivers, hands it off to Sanders again, goes up the middle, breaks a tackle, gets close to midfield, and will eventually push to midfield before being tackled down. Be a pickup of around 6 on the play, and a second down.
And right now, it's just a matter of trying to get some respect back here for the Jeannette Jayhawks. Tall task to get back from the 34-point deficit.
At midfield, Kennedy takes the snap, steps up, design quarterback sneak, and he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage by a host of Clairton Bears. Pruitt was in on the tackle.
Coit Hall was the one that got to him first, 54.
Coit Hall, who's re-entered the game, comes back and tackles him down after a loss. They'll mark him at the loss of 3 on the play. Ball on the 47. So another loss on the night for Kennedy. And Jeannette, a 3rd and long now, back in its own territory at the 47-yard line. As Kennedy calls the play with 3:55 and counting remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clairton leads Jeannette 34-0. Trips to the far side left. Kennedy with a sidecar to his left. Takes the snap, rolls out to the left. Steps up, throws over the middle of the field, pass incomplete. Pass intended on the far hash marks for wide receiver Isaiah Winters, and 4th down for Jeannette.
And they're going to punt the ball and give it back to the dangerous Clairton offense here.
With a 34-0 score, 3:41 on the clock remaining as the clock stops. Cunningham comes out to punt it away. He was let off a few great boots this evening in the punt game. He stands at his own 36-yard line. Trayshawn Howard back on his own 15. Cunningham's punt. Right to Trayshawn Howard, fields it at the 16-yard line, looking for blockers on the far side of the field with a high step, and is shoved out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And Clairton sets up shop in its own territory, but a flag down on the far side of the field. 3:35 left in the 3rd quarter.
See what the call is. Usually when it's thrown there, it's block in the back or a holding call on the gunner that's going downfield.
And the officials are waving to the far line judge as the sticks are moving.
Yeah, they're moving way too far. Where are they going with those things?
Huh. It must have been a penalty on Jeannette because the ball is being spotted at the...
Where he got tackled.
Well, Trayshawn, the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line in Clairton's territory. The officials are standing at the 45-yard line in Clairton territory. The officials are talking this over.
Wayne Wade's out at the numbers.
Wayne Wade can be comical with his coaching and where he stands and his inspiration.
What I found, I got 28 years under my belt coaching in the WPIAL, also as a head coach. Not all as a head coach, but as a head coach. And what I found is when you get out to the 40, to the numbers or a little bit further, and the officials let you stay out there, you're right.
You keep doing it?
You're right, and they're wrong. And usually that's the case. So, and they don't know how, they're trying to figure out, okay, what do we tell the guy now? And so we'll see. It's holding against Clairton. So.
But that should be a penalty on the kick.
It should be.
So it should be 10 yards marked off from
the point
of where the ball was returned.
Right.
So it should be 1st and 10 Clairton back at the 15-yard line.
Which is where the sticks were down close to there.
Well, now they moved the sticks. The sticks went down to the 25-yard line where and Howard ran out of bounds. And then they moved the sticks back to the original setup where Jeannette kicked it away from.
Yeah.
And then after the holding call was established, which would just be a 10-yard mark-off from where Trayshawn Howard ran out of bounds.
Exactly.
They moved the sticks back to the original set, and then they said, oh, well, it's a holding. We got to march you all the way back down the field.
Good point. You described it perfectly, Sean. And did you see the sarcasm on my face as you were describing it?
I saw the two men running the sticks lean the heads back like, ugh. And now
Johnson offside. They're going to mark off 5.
Johnson has jumped offside. Is that the 3rd or 4th time tonight?
At least. I mean, I'll give the young man credit. He's playing very hard. You watch him out there. He's played very hard tonight. He's been one of the brighter spots at times for Jeannette this evening, but you still have to be disciplined. You have to be under control. You can't give up free yards.
1st and 5 for Clairton at its own 20-yard line.
Is there another 80-yard run here for Trayshawn Howard?
He's in the backfield, sidecar to the right, 3 receivers to the near side left. Pruitt motions to the far side of the line. Handoff goes to Trayshawn Howard, goes between right guard, right tackle, spins out of a tackle, and he's tackled down at the 24-yard line. A pickup of 4 for Trayshawn Howard. 2nd down and 6.
1. 2nd down and 1, right?
Oh, yeah, you're correct. 2nd down and 1. My apologies.
Quite all right, Sean. It's been a confusing
the whole penalty sequence just threw me off, and then
sequence,
and then the offsides by Johnson. So Johnson, it looked like he was out of the game, but he's coming back to the defensive end spot on the near side of the defensive line. 2nd down and 1 for Clairton. Pruitt is now lined up in the backfield. Trayshawn Howard moves to the slot near side. And Trayshawn Howard tells Pruitt to motion to the sidecar right. No time on the
ran out
clock,
again.
And a 3rd delay of game tonight for the Clairton Bears. And it will be 2nd down and 6. Ball moves back to the 19-yard line.
They just did that so Howard could go 80 yards,
yeah.
81.
That's what he's looking for. Well, Trayshawn was yelling at Pruitt to move to get the snap.
Yeah, there
off.
was some confusion there as to what was going on. But Parsons was in the quarterback spot. Pruitt was just the sidecar, so he might have been yelling at Parsons as well.
Now it's Trayshawn Howard taking back over running back duties. Pruitt moves to the slot near side. Lined up with Devlin Clifford. And Trayshawn Howard takes the snap himself. 20, 25, breaks the tackle, loses the football. Jeannette's going to dive on top of it. Trayshawn Howard loses the football after crossing the 30-yard line, and it's dove on top of by Jeannette. And Jeannette gets a big stop. 2:13 left in the 3rd quarter. Despite trailing 34-0, Jeannette causing a turnover.
2nd turnover of the night for Clairton. And then they caused 2 on 2 interceptions. But they've lost 2 fumbles this evening, so hasn't hurt them on the scoreboard, obviously.
Trayshawn Howard picked up 12 yards on the carry and then the fumble. And 34-0. Jeannette starting in Clairton territory at the Clairton 31.
Now the question is, can they do something with this?
Kennedy in the shotgun, motions, fakes the handoff. Now rolls out to his right. Stepping up, throwing deep downfield. Trayshawn Howard's camped underneath it and breaks the play up incomplete. Winters, the receiver intended for towards the end zone. Trayshawn Howard nearly came up with the interception, but a great job by Winters to sneak the hand in to knock out the interception.
Well, the ball carried just a little bit further than what it was anticipating going, and Winters made a nice play there.
Now on the far hashes, 2nd down and 10, 2:04 left in the 3rd quarter. Jeannette trails 34-0 to Clairton. Kennedy in the shotgun, takes the snap, bobbles it for a second, throws far sideline, incomplete. Looking on the far sideline for Trey Cunningham.
And Kennedy's just been out of sync all night, but he rushed that pass. He had the man wide open, but he has been hurried, harried, hit, sacked so many times tonight that he He's rushing everything right now.
Kennedy, to that point, Lou, 1 for 12 for -1 yard and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, not a stat line you want to have.
3 receivers bunched to the far side. Kennedy drops back to pass, steps up, looking on the near side, streaking and incomplete, out of bounds in the end zone. In coverage for Clairton was Jordan Hines, flagged down on the play, and the pass intended for Marcus Barnes.
That's usually in the holding spot there. So we'll see if that is indeed the call and whether Clairton wants to just...
well, they're pointing at Clairton.
They're pointing at Clairton?
They are.
I'll be darned. Yeah, they are pointing at Clairton. Personal foul on Clairton.
Hands to the face.
Oh.
And a personal foul, hands to the face.
And Wayne Wade is not happy. The towel gets whipped off his shoulder. He's out at the numbers, and he is giving his displeasure to the officials. Or it could be the player that committed the penalty. I'm not sure which.
Minute 52 left in the third quarter, 34-0. A free first down for Jeannette. So no play chalked up for the Jayhawks, and now a jet sweep handoff and wrapped up as winners by Pruitt, thrown backwards.
And Pruitt has been an absolute beast on defense out here tonight. He has just been dominant,
to say the least,
for the Clairton Bears. I mean, this is vintage Clairton, and I've seen a lot of Clairton during the win streak. I saw him as a coach up close and personal when Tyler Boyd was here.
Heavy,
it was not pretty.
Hard hitting, hard-nosed
Not pretty
defense.
on our part, but yeah, this looks like vintage Clairton tonight.
Another jet sweep, winners, and then a handoff goes to O'Neal. He cuts through to the 5. Touchdown, Jeannette! The double sweep. It was a handoff to Winners, who then on the jet sweep coming from the near to the far side, O'Neal cut it right across the numbers and into the end zone for a 24-yard touchdown run. It's 34-6.
And just as we're singing the praises of Clairton, Jeannette scores. This is a little more like what we expected, though.
Trickery.
Trickeration. It almost looked like the old inside scissors off of the wing T look.
It did. Great job on the
I guess I'm marking my age there because nobody runs the wing T anymore.
Oh, according to Coach Hall, he said they do. The extra point by Cunningham is up, and the extra point is good. So with 1:05 left in the third quarter, Jeannette cracks the scoreboard. It's Clairton 34, Jeannette 7. You're listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Well, before we send it to break, a personal foul on Jeannette. So that should move the kickoff back, or was that personal foul called on Clairton, Lou?
No, they pointed to Jeannette. Now the question is it going to be on the extra point? Oh, they called illegal procedure against Jeannette, so they're going to re-kick it then.
Okay.
So the ball is not, the kick is not good. They have to replay the attempt, move it back 5 yards.
That flag came in very late.
Very late. Yeah, we were ready to mark it down and head to break.
Well, it's then retract everything I said in the last 20 seconds. It's still 34-6. Ball at the 15-yard line now for Jeannette is where it will be kicked from. Ball is spotted back at the 8-yard line. So Cunningham back for the extra point. Snap good, hold good. Kick is low and no good. So the procedure penalty comes back to bite Jeannette. And now with 1:05 left, we will send you to break. The score, Clairton 34, Jeannette 6. You are watching and listening 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Who showed you how to get to Sesame Street and took you to visit Mr. Rogers' neighborhood? WQED. And now, WQED and PBS Learning Media can help you travel through space, get an up-close look into Vietnam, and be in the front row of a Broadway show. In collaboration with local school districts, community organizations, and local libraries, WQED continues to create experiences that remake learning for students, teachers, and lifelong learners. For more info, visit WQED.org and begin your adventure.
So Jeannette cracks the scoreboard for the first time. A 24-yard touchdown run by Elijah O'Neal. And it's 34-6. Cunningham kicks to the near sideline. Taken by Keyshawn Wright, goes to the far hashes, cuts up the middle of the field, crosses the 35, bounces off a tackle, and a flag comes in late.
Real late.
And Wright was tackled down around the 40-yard line. Ball is spotted at the 39. Now we have to figure out what the flag is, so the referees confer.
They're looking like they're going to mark it off against Jeannette, so we'll see what the call is. Personal foul, face mask.
Personal foul, face mask. So add 15 to the end of the run, and with 55 seconds left, Clairton will start in solid field position. And I like the official out on the field. He makes it very known what the call is. He went from top of the head to chest
usually
on the face mask call.
Yeah, it's like, did he rip the face mask and helmet off or what?
So Clairton starts on Jeannette's 45-yard line, 1st and 10, with a 34-6 lead. Parsons lines up in the shotgun, moves Trayshawn Howard to a 45-degree angle to the right, hands it off to Howard, goes up the middle, follows the center, dives through for 4 yards, and 2nd and 6. Not often has Clairton run that halfback dive tonight. The lawn has gone off tackle.
Yeah, they've run a lot of the outside zone, and as a result, they've had tremendous success with it, and they haven't really had to go to a lot of other plays tonight. They've just made a living on that outside zone.
It's Clairton lets the clock wind down. 10 seconds left on the play clock. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Single receiver to each side now. In to take the snap is Parsons. Hands it off to Howard, looking to go off left tackle. Loses his footing back at the original line of scrimmage on the handoff, and he's limping as he comes off the field. But after the play, and nothing doing for Clairton on a loss of 4, it goes to the fourth quarter, and we will send you to break when we come back. It's the score: Clairton 34, Jeannette 6. You are listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Coverage of the 2017 WPIAL Girls Volleyball and Boys and Girls Soccer Playoffs is only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network. Follow all the action from the preliminary round to audio and video coverage of the district soccer and volleyball championship matches. Your exclusive home for all the WPIAL soccer and volleyball playoffs this fall is here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
And a reminder, coming up after the game, it's the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show with Don Rebel from the new Trib Total Media Control Center with all the scores and recaps from Week 9 and all the WPIAL football playoff clinchings. Don't miss the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show after the game, only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network. And I'm Lou Rood, alongside Sean Saputo and Jess Levo manning the camera here for the TribLive High School Sports Network video stream game of the week. Neal Brown Stadium in Clairton. We get ready for the start of the fourth quarter. 34-6 our score. The Bears from Clairton on top of Jeannette.
3rd and 10. Parsons in the pistol, motioning Robinson. Now an option look. Pitch to Trayshawn Howard. Gets to the near sideline, and he decides to just fall down on the turf rather than
he tried to reverse his field on the play before, and I think that's when he tweaked the knee. So this time he just said, we're up 34-6.
Back to the 49-yard line, a loss of 6 on the play. And Clairton will have to punt it away with 11:30 left in the fourth quarter. in a 34-6 lead. Back to return the punt for Jeannette is quarterback Robert Kennedy. 10 seconds left on the play clock.
They had 12 out there, had to get one off the field.
And Wright's punt bounces at the 20-yard line, fielded by Kennedy. Gets past the first man, makes a move at the 20, wrapped up finally at the 25-yard line and just goes down. Wrapped up by a host of Clairton Bear.
Bradford, one of the first ones there, number 33. Yeah, we had to call him out a couple times for jumping off sides, so we got to give him credit for the good plays that he makes now, even things out. Yeah, because there's not too many things that Clairton has done wrong tonight.
No.
Not at all.
Just a few false starts.
And the 2 fumbles.
2 fumbles.
And that's it, basically.
Missed extra points.
Well, yeah, but
they happen.
Yeah.
Even NFL kickers anymore miss extra points.
Yep.
But
when you're up 34-6, you don't worry about things too much like that.
11 minutes left. Kennedy pass to the near sideline, incomplete. Trayshawn Howard putting the shoulder right into the stomach of Cunningham in the pass, incomplete.
And he did that with emphasis there.
And the clock is running. With the score 34-6.
Now it's stopped.
Now the officials catch the
Now they're going to have to reset the clock because the official's coming down that runs the clock on the field to let them know that the clock, thank you, Paul Patera, for not being here tonight. Paul goes on rants. He will, rants about poor clock running by the people that run the clocks. I'm surprised we haven't been banned from some press boxes when we work together because he's tearing up the clock operator, and it's like, oh, Paul, calm down. Calm down. They're going to throw us out of here. We got to finish the game.
10:45 put on the clock. 2 receivers split to each side. Kennedy the handoff to Sanders. He's wrapped up and tackled back at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
And again, this Clairton front 7, the front 4 and then the 3 linebackers, because they run a 4-3 defense, they have just been phenomenal tonight. Yes, Kennedy's been able to get some running room, and Sanders has broken free a couple times on a couple nice runs. But for the majority of the evening, they have just dominated play up front and kept this Jeannette offense bottled up. And then when Kennedy tries to throw the ball, combine the front 7 with the secondary and the tight man coverage they're putting on, it has been a difficult chore for Jeannette to move the ball this evening against Clairton's D.
Jeannette lines up 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Kennedy looking over the middle of the field, passing complete. Intended for Cunningham. Trayshawn Howard had a hand on the back of Cunningham, but never turned him, reached the hand out. It could be 50-50.
He was like that, and it was one of those, since the receiver didn't move, they're not going to call it. So
4th and 10.
And again, another punt. How many punts have they had tonight? They've had a ton, I think.
2 interceptions ended drives. I know that, and the touchdown. So other than that, I would say 8 or 9 drives have ended in punt.
Yeah, his legs are going to be tired at the end of the night from the number of punts he's put out.
And a wobbly kick to the near sideline takes a Jeannette bounce at the 41 and rolls all the way down on this fluffy, thick grass all the way to the Clairton 27-yard line.
Cunningham's had some huge punts tonight. That one wasn't a huge one to start, but he got a great roll on it. You're in trouble when your punter's one of your top players on the evening.
Yeah.
And it's as shocked as we are. The Jeannette fans have to be in total shock. There's no way they expected it. They had there's still quite a few of them left here, but they basically had this visitors side filled at Neal Brown Stadium. And they were raucous early and getting into it, and then Clairton just took them right out of the game.
That Trayshawn Howard touchdown run to open the second half from 83 yards out. And Trayshawn Howard is now lined up in the Wildcat. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Howard takes the snap, goes off left tackle, cuts back to the middle of the field, breaks a tackle, bounces off at the 35, dives ahead, and is tackled down at the 32-yard line for a pickup of 5 on the play.
How many yards rushing does he have? Is he up to 200 yet, or because
had-
he lost a few
He
on a
had
couple?
45 at halftime, and then he picked up 140 on the first 2 carries, so that puts him at 185. So I'll get the rest of that after this play.
Because he lost a couple on a couple runs there. That's what I was just checking.
And in the Wildcat again is Howard. 2 receivers lined up to each side, slowly running the offense. Hands it off to Barry. Barry to the 35, breaks a tackle. He's wrapped up and spun down hard on the far near side of the field at the 36-yard line. A pickup of 3 for Isaiah Barry.
Going to be short of the first down by about a yard there.
3rd down and manageable, however, for Clairton. I have him right around over 200 yards.
That's what I thought. He was close to 200 tonight.
He was at 185 after the first 2 carries, 183, 187, 191, 203, 207. Yep, I have him at 202 yards unofficially.
Okay, after the ones he lost there and then got him back.
Yep.
Okay.
I have him at 18 carries, 202 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Rushing, and then add 87 yards on the pass, right?
3 receptions for 92 yards. And
So he's accounted for 299 yards total offense.
Yes.
And we still got 8 minutes left here.
yes, 8:38 to be exact. With Howard lined up, motions Robinson to the far side, the offensive line. Takes the direct snap, goes all the way to the far sideline. He's wrapped up by the collar, and dragged down for a loss on the first down carry. Loss of 4 on the play for Trayshawn Howard.
So he's back down to 203 now.
And refs blow the whistle.
Somebody's down. I can't tell who it is for Clairton.
With 8:09 on the clock in the 4th quarter, 34-6 the score. As mentioned, Lou, Jeannette fans hanging around. Some of the Clairton fans seem to have weaned their way out as they've feeling this one's about over. And for all intents and purposes, with the way Clairton has played tonight, it would take a near miracle for Jeannette. But
and just to highlight what was at stake tonight, and we've said it a couple times, but we'll repeat it again. Jeannette came into tonight 6-0, Imani Christian 5-1, Clairton 5-1 in the Class 1A Eastern Conference. They've all clinched for the playoffs. If Jeannette wins or loses by 9 or fewer points at Clairton, they're first. However, and the however is what we got to look at. If Clairton and Imani Christian, who host Leechburg on Saturday, win by 10 or more points, all 3 teams will be tied in Gardner points and tiebreaker points, and a coin flip would decide first place.
And on the near sideline by the Jeannette bench, the medical team is bringing a stretcher, getting a stretcher prepared. Looks like there may be a young man from Jeannette.
There's a Jeannette player that's down on the field. And we were watching what was going on with the player injured on the far side. We didn't notice the near side.
And the young man from Clairton is getting the leg worked on. It might be Trayshawn Howard. It is. And it's Trayshawn Howard down on the field for Clairton. And we're trying to get a look on who is down on the field for Jeannette.
Yeah, I can't see the family is down there with him. And we don't want people to be alarmed unnecessarily. And that is Trayshawn Howard hopping off the field. And let's hope it is just a cramp as he goes to the ground over there, and he's grabbing the back of his hamstring. And if that's a hamstring cramp, those are the worst in the world to try and deal with. And our concern right now is for a young man from Jeannette.
I believe
he's got his knees up and he's moving his extremities. So
I believe it's It's not. Is it Xander Malik? I thought I saw a 55.
I can't tell for sure if I get down here a little further, but the people have the number block, so we can't really see. Is
it is Xander
55?
Malik.
Yeah, it is.
Getting worked on the near sideline as
He is sitting up though, so that's a positive. And he's moving around. It looks like he's talking to the EMTs, paramedics down there. So
there's 8:09 left in the fourth quarter. Clairton leads 34-6, and the officials are awaiting the start of the play. Xander Malik is off the field far enough.
yeah, he's over almost near the fence. So
As play will resume now, as Trayshawn Howard came off the field, possibly with a leg injury, and now Parsons is in the pistol. 2 receivers to each side. Clock has started to roll. Under 8 minutes now. Parsons letting the play clock tick down to take time off. Motions Pruitt. Takes it, hands it off to Barry, dives ahead, and Barry picks up a yard on the play. And a 3rd down and along 13 for the Bears. As Clairton in no hurry.
and Malik now gets up and sits on the stretcher on his own. So that's a good sign.
.7:20 left in the fourth quarter, 34-6 the score. Lou continues to check on Xander Malik as Parsons fakes the handoff to Barry, makes a man miss at the 40, 45, 50, into Jeannette territory, and finally he's tackled down at the 40-yard line as Brendan Parsons. It was 3rd down and 11 from the 35, gets to the Jeannette 40, a pickup of 25 and a Bear first down.
And that time everybody went for the running back. They just completely ignored Parsons. Once he pulled the football, he headed out over the left side, and there was nobody home. Big gain for Parsons.
Under 7 minutes now remaining in the fourth quarter as Clairton marches into Jeannette territory with a 34-6 lead. Parsons lines up in the shotgun. Moves Barry to his left. Motions Robinson, and now a bunch of movement on
I think Johnson jumped, and then Clairton reacted to him.
I say a bunch of movement on the far side of the line with Johnson and Weatherspoon and
Yeah,
Irons.
if Johnson came across first and the offense reacted to him, it'll be offsides. If the offense moved and then Johnson reacted, it'll be illegal procedure. It all depends on the interpretation of the officials.
And they'll call the false start.
So there you have it.
So
There's only 2 things you could call: offsides or false start, or you pick up the flag. 3 things. I'm sorry.
5-yard mark off on Clairton. 1st and 15 now from the 45-yard line in Jeannette territory.
And all that does is just delay, keeps the clock running once you get going.
Parsons in the shotgun. 2 receivers lined up to the far side. Robinson, the tight end, is lined up in the slot on the far side. Clifford on the far sideline. On the near sideline, Hines. Robinson motions to the near side, handoff to Barry. Barry crosses the line of scrimmage, makes a move, cuts back towards the near hashes, and is slammed down to the turf. Pruitt in a little shoving job. As Pruitt gets a little mouthy with Jones on the Jeannette defense. Barry picks up a few yards on the play, and a 3rd down for Clairton as the clock winds to 5.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Well, actually, I only give a yard on the play.
That's about all he got.
A lot of dancing from Barry as Robinson lines up to the near sideline. On the far sideline is Clifford, and now Robinson motions to the slot on the near side. on the far side, excuse me. Parsons in the shotgun. 4 seconds on the play clock. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Barry. Follows the center. What a wonderful job as Barry bounces off a tackler. Got back to the initial line of scrimmage and picks up 3 yards. But wow, did Barry lower the shoulder.
Well, I don't know who he hit, but a linebacker came up and Barry just said, "Get out of here." Sent him flying.
It was linebacker Nathan Rood, a sophomore.
Woo.
He got blown up by Barry. It was just a gain of 4 on the play, but wow, what a hit by Barry. 4:30 left in the fourth quarter. 34-6 the score. As an ambulance from the left side of the field behind the scoreboard comes up to bring attention to Xander Malik. He is sitting up.
They're checking the neck area, checking his eyes. And
Parsons takes the snap, looks downfield, fires downfield. Devlin Clifford makes the catch. At the 10-yard line, Devlin Clifford from Parsons for 30 and a Bear first down.
Sending a message with that one. They've been running the ball, lulling them to sleep, and then pow, hit him with the deep ball.
The play action pass goes for 30 yards. First and goal for the Bears at the Jeannette 10-yard line, and we are under 4 minutes remaining. Parsons with Barry in the backfield. 2 receivers to the far side. Takes the snap, hands off to Barry, goes off left tackle towards the out of bounds, and is spun down awkwardly after a 1-yard pickup, and Barry is down on the turf.
Yeah.
Barry's
now he's back up. Whoa. He popped back up. It did look bad when he went down, the way he got spun down.
It looked like his right foot stuck in the grass, and like he did almost like a full split the way he was spun down, but a 1-yard pickup for Barry. And he did. He hopped up real quick. As the clock winds to 3 minutes, and
Jeannette fans are heading for the exits now.
This one, pending a miracle, is going
Miracle? I've never seen anybody score 28 points in 2 minutes and 54 seconds in a game. I've seen some crazy games, but never that many points in that short a time.
Well, after last week, what I saw with the Oakland Raiders and Kansas City Chiefs, I never thought, I think I've seen it all. As Parsons looks, drops back the pass, the catch is made on the near pylon. Going up and making the catch is Devlin Clifford. And from 10 yards out, it's now 40-6 in favor of the Clairton Bears.
And again, just a simple little fade route there. Parsons put it up high where Clifford could go get it and no one else could. And he went up and caught the ball at the highest point, got his feet down inside, and with 2 minutes and 38 seconds to go, it's now 40-6. And if they hit the extra point, you know, it's a little late to say anything, but they would love to be able to put the mercy rule on here if they could.
The extra point attempt by Ogletree. Snap good. Hold good. Kick is popped up and wide.
No good.
But
Flag
there's a
down.
flag.
Rough the kicker.
Johnson did come flying in, and they missed it the first time you mentioned, Lou, earlier in the game.
Oh, they missed it big time earlier.
And Johnson's running off the field.
But they missed it. The one they missed earlier was when Jeannette was kicking the extra point, I believe it was.
Wayne Wade is yelling to the official.
No, it was when Clairton was kicking it. Yep,
yeah.
It was. You're right, because I said Wayne Wade was out there going nuts.
Penalty is declined.
No, why would they? They wouldn't decline it. They want to take it.
Well, the official went and gave the decline motion.
I don't know why you want to re-kick it. You can't decline it. You got to re-kick it.
Unless they were going to allow it.
Because the kick was no good.
Yeah.
Why would he decline it if the kick was no good? I'm lost.
Yeah, from Wayne Wade yelled over the official, and the official is again from standing at the 3-yard line.
Why would you decline He's not. I don't think Wayne Wade wants to. He's looking at the official going, "You're crazy."
Yeah, the official gave the decline motion. That's why I said that. Because if you accept the penalty, you move it half the distance.
Now Wayne Wade wants him over there so he can talk to him.
He is beyond. He's almost to the hash marks, as you mentioned, Lou.
He's darn close.
Well, when we get this sorted out, we'll send it to a break with 2:38 left in the fourth quarter. Clairton a 40-6 lead against the Jeannette Jayhawks. You're listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
People ask what drives me. It's the respect I have for my opponents, the trust I have in my teammates, a coach who treats me with dignity, and a university that has faith in me on and off the field. That's what keeps me focused, why I practice harder, play my heart out. I play to win. I play for Carlo. Tell us your story using #WhatDriveSYou.
Carlo University is a proud sponsor of the TribLive High School Sports Network.
And a quick reminder here, coming up after the game, it's the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show with Dawn Rebel from the new Trib Total Media Control Center with all the scores and recaps from Week 9 and all the WPIAL Football Playoff clinching pairings. Don't miss the WPIAL Football Scoreboard Show after the game, only on the new TribLive High School Sports Network.
And the penalty is assessed on the kickoff, so Clairton kicking from the Jeannette 45, bounces, fielded at the 10-yard line and making a move and cutting across and being tackled down shy of the 20-yard line for Jeannette is Robert Kennedy. And the Jayhawks take over with 2:33 left in the fourth quarter at its own 17-yard line, trailing the Clairton Bears 40-6.
And totally unexpected. We're still in shock over this. We did not expect this. Thought it would be a very competitive game. Instead, Clairton decided to revert back to the form they've had for a long, long time, shake off the mid-season blues, so to speak, and they have played like the old Clairton Bears.
New quarterback in for Jeannette as a handoff is taken and tackled out of bounds just about the 25-yard line is Monty Sanders, and he'll pick up a decent chunk on the play. Pickup of 6 for Monty Sanders as Jeannette slowly moving at this point back to the line of scrimmage. In at quarterback for Jeannette is sophomore Jason Cox. So Cox in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off, following the left guard and bouncing out to the far side of the field. And being tackled down after no gain on the play is Malik Gordon, his first carry of the night. And the clock winds to a minute and a half, and Xander Malik is being taken off the field here on the near sideline to the ambulance.
And he will get checked out.
Is sitting upright, which is...
Yeah, he was sitting up, he was awake, he was alert, he was moving all his extremities, so probably a precautionary, at this point in time, and it's good to see that the young man was indeed up and moving around, but better to be safe than sorry, in situations like that. Get him to the hospital, get him checked out.
3rd and 4, Cox hands it off up the middle and charging towards the first down marker on the carry. Trying to get a beat on who it is. It was, again, Malik Gordon. Picks up 2 on the play and a 4th down and 2. For Jeannette, ball on its own 28-yard line. 40 seconds left in the contest. The Bears, I said this in the pregame with Dawn Rebel, not often when you think of a Clairton Bear football game do you think you would hear the words Clairton Bears upset. And that is what's happening right now.
Yes, you don't hear that.
The Clairton Bears
getting upset, but not Clairton Bears upset somebody, and tonight is the case.
And it's 4th down. They started the play clock, and the time is going to wind down. 5 seconds left. Jeannette's not going to take a snap. The clock runs out, and the Clairton Bears have caused havoc in 1A Eastern Conference with a 40-6 thrashing of the Jeannette Jayhawks. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll round out the stats, we'll round out the game, and we will talk the playoffs. You're listening and watching 2017 WPIAL High School Football here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
Media this season.
TribLive has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment. Lifestyles. Opinion. Weather. Photo galleries. Video. You can even find your next job, house, and car. So look alive, Pittsburgh, and get the news you want and information you need all in one place. TribLive.com. TribLive.com. News and more 24/7. TribLive has a little something for everyone. Sports from high school to the pros. News from across the street and around the world. Arts and entertainment. Lifestyle.
The team at UPMC Sports Medicine doesn't just rebuild wrists and knees. They build better athletes. Athletes at every level who want to get stronger and faster and prevent injuries. Fact is, no other sports medicine program in the region is more experienced when it comes to treating, training, and inspiring athletes. UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Penguins, Steelers, and you. Find out more at upmcsportsmedicine.com.
AstroTurf, a pioneer in sports surfacing, proudly supports high school athletics. Visit one of their 280 fields in the tri-state area to see their cutting-edge technology. AstroTurf's focus on R&D enables them to provide innovative surfaces that protect athletes and stand the test of time. AstroTurf now propels performance with iconic turf fields and legendary Recordtan tracks. They manufacture, build, and maintain a full range of turf and track systems for total quality control. Learn more at astroturf.com. In another season of change, the one thing that remains the same is exclusive coverage of the WPIAL football playoffs, only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network, starting with the playoff pairing show Monday, October 30th. Whether it's the highway to Hines or the road to RMU, it starts with the WPIAL Playoff Pairing Show, Monday, October 30th at 7 p.m., only here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network. For the most complete recap of Friday night's high school football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, only here on the TribLive High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Don Rebel. Join me in a cast of thousands for all the scores with recaps from the top games, plus we highlight the night on the TribLive Roundtable. That's the WPIAL Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the TribLive High School Sports Network and at TribHSSN.TribLive.com.
And we welcome you back to Neal Brown Stadium, Clairton, Pennsylvania, where tonight the Clairton Bears have upset, yes, that's right, upset the Jeannette Jayhawks by a final score of 40-6. And while Sean finishes throwing the stats together here, let me just refresh you on the playoff scenario once again. Coming in tonight, Jeannette started out 6-0. They will now be 6-1. Clairton goes to 6-1. Imani Christian plays tomorrow afternoon against Leechburg. Clairton did their part. They won, and they won by more than 10 points. If Imani Christian wins by more than 10 points tomorrow against Leechburg, which is a real possibility, then all three teams would be tied in Gardner points and tiebreaker points, and you would be looking at a coin flip to decide first place. And that's where we are at this point in time. It's up to Imani Christian tomorrow against Leechburg. They win by more than 10, and get your coins ready.
And the final score again, Clairton defeating Jeannette by a final score of 40-6. Let's talk about how it happened. Clairton opened the scoring on an 87-yard touchdown pass from Parsons to Trayshawn Howard. It was 6-0. The extra point was no good. And then on a missed field goal attempt, It was Anthony Pruitt on an 80-yard blocked field goal attempt return for a touchdown, made it 12-0, and then the 2-point conversion was good. Parsons to Howard, 7 yards on the 2-point conversion. It was 14-0. That's where it stood at halftime, and out of the break on the first play of the half, Trayshawn Howard, 83-yard touchdown run, made it 20-0. Extra point was good, and then after a 3-and-out for the Clairton defense, gets the ball back. Trayshawn Howard, 57 yards for a touchdown. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns in the second half for Clairton to open things up. This extra point was good. It was then 28-0, and Clairton made it 35-0 on a 10-yard touchdown run by Barry, and the extra point no good. It was 40-0. Jeannette would crack the scoreboard, though, on a 24-yard touchdown run by Elijah O'Neal. It made it 34-6 with the missed extra point, and then Clairton added one more touchdown late in the fourth quarter, just to add a little bit to it. A 10-yard touchdown reception by Devlin Clifford from Parsons. It was from 10 yards out. It was 40-6, the final score. Final stats for Clairton, unofficial, of course. For Trayshawn Howard, 19 carries for 198 yards. Just missed the 200-yard mark with that last run where he slid down. 2 touchdowns on the ground. For Parsons, 3 carries, 24 yards. Barry, 8 carries, 26 yards for a 248 yards total for the Clairton Bears. And in the passing game, Parsons goes 6 for 7, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. 40 of those yards and a touchdown to Devlin Clifford on 2 catches. Trayshawn Howard, 3 catches for 92 yards, 1 catch for -2 yards for Robinson. Trayshawn Howard on the evening had 290 of the 378 yards for the Clairton offense. And on the Jeannette side, and this is where things are very, very bleak, for Robert Kennedy, 17 carries, 20 yards on the evening. And a multitude of running backs would end up running on the ground as well. For Malik Gordon, 2 carries for 2 yards on the ground. Imani Sanders, 9 carries for 33 yards was the bright spot, as well as the 24-yard touchdown run on the lone carry for Elijah O'Neal. A single carry for -2 yards for wide receiver Zach Burgeon, and wide receiver Isaiah Winters had 1 carry for -6 yards, 71 yards on the ground for Jeannette. But this is the big number. In passing, Robert Kennedy, who came in with 1,070 yards passing, 21 touchdowns and no interceptions, goes 1 for 14 for -1 yard and 2 interceptions. Jeannette, 70 yards of offense tonight against this Clairton team. Again, the final 40-6.
Total domination by Clairton from basically start to finish. And no one foresaw this coming. We all expected it to be a tight game, and just an outstanding effort by the Clairton Bears, as I mentioned many times during the course of the game. It was almost like a throwback Thursday, so to speak. It looked like the Bears back in vintage form from the heyday when they were just running roughshod over the WPIAL and the PIAA. Just a total dominant effort, offensively and defensively tonight by Clairton. You have to think Jeannette didn't expect this, and they're walking out of here tonight wondering what the heck hit them, because they didn't expect this. I don't think anybody did.
And now the conference will be determined. Imani Christian, who is 7-2, plays Leechburg tomorrow, and I guess for all intents and purposes, you can kind of chalk up a W for Imani Christian.
Yeah, Leechburg's having a rough year.
Yeah.
And Imani Christian now, if they win by more than 10 points, 3-way tie for first place. And that's what we're anticipating. But then who anticipated this tonight?
Yeah.
So you never know. Tomorrow's supposed to be, weather's supposed to change. It's starting to get a little bit cold out here. The wind picked up here in the second half, and they're calling for rain tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. But interesting evening here at Neal Brown Stadium. I always enjoy coming here. Love coming to Clairton. It's always, they treat us great here. tonight's the first time we ever did it from up on top of the press box. And you know what? If the weather's nice, I think I'd like to do them all from up here.
I think
the
so,
view
too.
was fantastic.
Great view of the whole field, not scrunched in the press box, but it's time for us to wrap it up here from Neal Brown Stadium in Clairton, Pennsylvania. The final score, the Clairton Bears defeat the Jeannette Jayhawks 40-6. For Jess Levo on video, for my broadcast partner Lou Rood, I'm Sean Saputo, wishing everyone a pleasant good evening. The final score one last time. It's Clairton 40, Jeannette 6, and this has been a broadcast of 2017 WPIAL High School Football video and audio here on the TribLive High School Sports Network.
You have been listening to WPIAL Football 2017 here on the new TribLive High School Sports Network, and sponsored by UPMC Sports Medicine, by Carlow University, by AstroTurf, by Dollar Bank, by Chick-fil-A Robinson, by WQED, and by Trib Total Media. You can follow the 2017 WPIAL football season and all of the fall high school sports by logging on every day to www.TribHSSN.TribLive.com. The preceding has been a special presentation of the new TribLive High School Sports Network.